and gullibility, we must tell you the views represented on this show are not necessarily those of this station or its management. This radio show contains differing points of view on current political topics, and due to the nature of its contents, it should be heard by everyone. Thank you for listening. Now live from the heart of liberal Wisconsin, where the political party is just beginning, welcome to the Devil's Advocate Show. Best friends proving it's never personal, only politics.
Please allow me to introduce myself.
Now here are your hosts, Dom and Crute.
Welcome to the Devil's Advocates Radio Show. Thank God it's Friday, Dominic. How you doing, little buddy?
I am fantastic. Thank you, Crudy. Fancy Brian on the board, our fair audience. I am so glad it's Friday, but it's kind of like a Friday news dump. Not really. The kind of news came out last night. It's the birthday weekend. Happy almost birthday, Michael Crute. You're not old, you're vintage.
Oh, I'm getting there. Unfortunately, I'm turning to vinegar, Dom. You know, fine wine doesn't always age forever. Sometimes it turns bad.
Hey, just leave it in the barrel long enough. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
Turn bitter.
A couple of winos like you drink it anyways.
You know it. Happy
Dominic
Friday, Crudy.
Didn't want the challenge of these breaking headlines. Kind of wanted to take her easy, coast.
Yeah. Have a fun Friday, kind of coast into the weekend, just it's summertime in Wisconsin, and to be faced with these kinds of headlines is a little more than I would hope for on a Friday, but damn it, this is what we do.
Dominic, Donald Trump's DOJ was spying on sitting Democratic congressmen, Eric Swalwell and Adam Schiff, other legislative staffers, and their families.
Even a minor.
Is spying the correct term here, Dom? Metadata sweeping, looking for leaks, or so they say.
Looking for something? I mean, given the Trump administration, they just wanted a reason to dig. I mean, Swalwell, right? Schiff? I mean, Trump hates those guys. So if he could find any sort of reason, if the DOJ under either of the attorneys general that served under Trump, if they could find a reason, create a subpoena to go sweep that data, would they do it? And if they didn't have justification, would it be spying? I say yes.
Dominic, this does include both the term of Jeff Sessions and also apparently Bill Barr. They're all complicit in this. And Bill Barr has already come out and he's saying, I don't remember Trump specifically telling me to go out and investigate any sitting Democratic Congress people. But Dom, the headlines at the New York Times and other places, I think you found it at thehill.com as well. Well, they tell a story. Where are we going first, buddy?
Lots of headlines on the story, as there should be. I think the Hill piece summarizes and kind of gets us to where we are right now. So I'll start on that, Crudy. Again, from the Hill, Rebecca Beisch and Scott Wong reporting the Justice Department internal watchdog will investigate the secret seizure of data from Democratic lawmakers and reporters during leak investigations initiated under the Trump administration.
So now we've got investigators investigating the Department of Justice, the investigators.
The Pro follows news of a department decision in 2017 and 2018 to issue subpoenas seeking metadata from House Intelligence Committee Chair Adam Schiff and fellow committee member Rep. Swalwell during the leak investigations. In recent weeks, the DOJ also notified reporters of 3 different outlets their records were sought in similar investigations and dropped the gag orders limiting disclosure of the seizure. The comments from Michael Horowitz, he's the DOJ's Inspector General, said this, quote, "The review will examine the department's compliance with applicable DOJ policies and procedures and whether any such uses or the investigations were based upon improper considerations."
Yeah, maybe. Dominic, you and I talked about this before we came on the air. The subjects, talking about Swalwell and Adam Schiff, were not aware until very recently, because much like the the fishing expeditions for the leaky journalist, much like they were unable to talk about this. It's actually Apple that released this metadata, and Apple was not able to inform Swalwell or Schiff until last month that this information had been sought and released about them. So this is new news, even to the congressmen.
Gag orders in all cases with the fishing expeditions for the media members, and now with the Judiciary Committee Judiciary Committee members as well. A little bit more here. News of the probe comes shortly after lawmakers called for an investigation. Well, there you go. Senate Majority Leader Schumer and Dick Durbin, he's the Judiciary Chair, also called the two of former President Trump's attorneys general, Barr and Sessions, to testify before the Senate Judiciary Committee. A quote, the revelation that the Trump Justice Department secretly subpoenaed metadata from House Intelligence Committee members and staff and their families, including a minor, is shocking. This is a gross abuse of power and an assault on the separation of powers, Schumer and Durbin said in a joint statement Friday. This appalling politicization of the Department of Justice by Donald Trump and his sycophants must be investigated immediately by both the DOJ Inspector General and Congress. Yeah, abso-freaking-lutely. And I want to say this as well. I did see Schiff appeared, I believe it was on Rachel Maddow last night when this news was breaking by the New York Times. And Schiff, who apparently was at the DOJ for like 6 years, speaks highly of the organization, as does our friend James Santelle, a former U.S. attorney. He's going to join us at the bottom of the hour, answering the call. I was texting him last night, one of the few people I know that used to work at the DOJ. So he's going to join us at 2:30. But Schiff, in his comments last night, was lamenting the fact that the Department of Justice has been just devastated by the Trump administration, Trumpism, right? And it's going to take 10 years for the department to overcome what Trump did to it. And while I appreciate the sentiment, and in some ways I don't disagree, but Trump didn't put a gun to people's heads. You know what I'm saying? Now, he may rhetorically, you may think that there's a big deal if Trump used to tweet about you. I guess I can appreciate that. But these investigations were done at the Department of Justice. Subpoenas were issued. Who issued the subpoenas? Based on what evidence? You see what I'm saying? I mean, none of this could have happened without many other people being involved. So while, Schiff, I get what you're saying, Congressman, certainly Trump's influence was a big factor here. But if any one of those people working at DOJ stood up for what I believe to be true and constitutional, they would have all resigned their positions, and this never would have gone forward without the enablement and help and assistance of those at the DOJ beyond just the attorneys general.
Dominic, I've got a headline over at the Raw Story. Bill Barr knew what he was hiding when he lied to the Senate panel about secret investigations, according to a former FBI official. Fancy Brian, I'm going to need your help. I understand we've got this sound. Remember the interchange between now Vice President Kamala Harris and the then candidate for Attorney General, Bill Barr? And she asked him a direct question, and, he gave sort of a circular response, if you will. Maybe he knew exactly what he was doing. If this subpoenaing of metadata starting under Sessions, Bill Barr probably knew on the way in. Let's play it for the people.
Attorney General Barr, has the president or anyone at the White House ever asked or suggested that you open an investigation of anyone?
I wouldn't.
Yes or no?
Could you repeat that question?
I just did it. Has the president or anyone at the White House ever asked or suggested that you open an investigation of anyone? Yes or no, please, sir?
The president or anybody else?
Seems you would remember something like that and be able to tell us.
Yeah, but I'm trying to grapple with the word suggest. I mean, there have been discussions of matters out there that they have not asked me to open an investigation, but
perhaps they've suggested.
I don't know. I wouldn't say suggest.
Hinted.
I don't know.
Inferred. You don't know. Okay.
You don't know.
Dominic, earlier today on CNN, there was a an appearance. Peter Strzok. You remember him, part of the Mueller investigation, the FBI guy that apparently
Oh,
had
the lovers?
the
One of the lovers, yes. Lover number 1 and lover number 2.
Peter Strzok appeared on CNN. Strzok watched a clip of Barr stumbling around, much like you just listened to, when asked when Senator Kamala Harris whether the DOJ had been pressed by the president to open any investigations. As the clip ran, the former FBI official could be seen shaking his head, which led the CNN host Berman to ask him what he had just seen. Here's a quote from Strzok. As an investigator, you begin to understand when people are not telling the truth, avoiding answers. When I see long pauses, vague answers, refusing to answer, it's clear things are there. It's clear Kamala Harris knew exactly what was going on, and Bill Barr knew what he was hiding there. It was clear he wasn't being forthcoming in his answers to those questions. Is it clear to you, Dom? Because now it's going to be clear to the American people. New York Times reporting that the Trump DOJ was spying on sitting Democratic Congress people on the Intelligence Committee.
Who were investigating him?
Here's what I would point out, Tom. Had they found any dirt on Schiff or Swalwell, there absolutely would have been some criminal indictments, some sort of charges leveled, some smear in the press.
Yes.
So clearly, these men are apparently above reproach. Because if there'd have been some dirt there, they'd have laid it out for us, Tom.
I'm trying to understand what you mean by the word suggest. I mean, we knew it then, right? We played this clip back then, and he was acting attorney general at the time, and it was obvious back then. Now, at least we have some backstory to it. But Trump had lots of enemies, and I have to wonder if any of the Republicans, perhaps. Now, the Republicans on the Intelligence Committee, well, their spokesperson hasn't responded to any of the inquiries yet.
You know what? But Bill Barr did an interview earlier today. We'll share a little bit. Deny.
I don't remember.
Come back. I suggest you keep listening to the Devil's Advocate Radio Show.
Well, history's written by the winner, so it largely depends on who's writing the history.
It depends upon what the meaning of the word is.
Yes.
So what I told you was true, from a certain point of view.
You took the first step and quit smoking, but even former smokers may still be at risk for lung cancer. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know about a new low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early. It takes only 60 seconds and could save your life. You took the first step, now take the next. Visit SaveByTheScan.org for a simple quiz to see if you're eligible and talk to your doctor about screening. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
President Biden's American Jobs Plan would invest in clean energy jobs, move the country towards clean power, and create millions of good-paying jobs for families like yours. It's the most progressive plan to create American jobs in decades. Members of Congress need to hear that this plan would help you and your family. Join Move On's fight to help working families. Text ACT to 668-366 to join Move On. Message and data rates may apply. Paid for by MoveOn.org Civic Action.
Is that a faucet running? That's not a faucet. That's a river rushing through the forest. Forest rivers provide over 100 million people with clean water to drink.
What? I can't hear you because of the vacuum.
That's not a vacuum. That's the trees in the forest cleaning up the air we breathe.
I didn't know the trees were so amazing.
Yep, and the forest gives us shade, trees to climb.
That's awesome. Let's go explore some more.
Visit the forest today and enjoy all it does, just for you. To learn more about the forest and find one near you, go to discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
I'm not a big fan of righty-whitey talk radio, but if I'm going to tune in even for an hour a day, I really wish they'd have a live host. You know, they've still got a Rush Limbaugh show, and the guy's been dead for a couple months.
Playing like Best of Dead Rush.
Do you know how weird that is? I make you this promise, Dom, after I'm dead, you don't have to keep playing my sound bites. Although I'm hoping you go first.
The Devil's Advocates, weekdays from 2 to 5.
Macaronino,
I would have gotten away with it too if it wasn't for those meddling devil's advocates.
You're wondering who I am. Secret, secret, I've got a secret. Machine or mannequin. Secret, secret, I've got a secret.
And we are back. Thank you for listening to the Devil's Advocates radio show. Secret, secret, I've got a secret. The DOJ, dirty as F under Donald Trump. And we have more evidence of that spying on the Congressional Intelligence Committee members who were investigating Trump.
Dominic, we're going to have a fine guest, former U.S. Attorney James Santelle, our good friend. It hasn't been long, but he's coming back. He's answering the call. He'll be here in just probably like 10 short minutes. Stick around. But here's something observed by both you and I and the host of Morning Joe, Joe Scarborough. MSNBC's Morning Joe disturbed by the GOP's lack of concern over the DOJ spying scandal. Travis Getty's reporting. MSNBC's Joe Scarborough finds the lack of Republican concern over the Department of Justice spying scandal disturbing. I think that was in the headline. Donald Trump's administration, under both Attorney Generals Jeff Sessions and William Barr, subpoenaed the personal data of at least 2 Democratic lawmakers and their families during the Russia investigation. And the Morning Joe host said that GOP lawmakers should be pounding the table over the clear abuse of power. Pound that table. I've got to believe even some Republicans on the Hill who actually have read the Constitution and understand what Article 1 of the Constitution means and understand the Madisonian checks and balances and how important those are and see themselves set apart as a separate and equal branch from the executive branch, find it hard to believe the Republicans are just as concerned and disturbed by this as a lot of Democrats, Scarborough said. I can tell you, when I was up there, oh my God, if something like this had happened, the chairman, the chairwoman, the leaders would have torn into shreds a president in their own party if there had been an investigation against that president. And then the president decided to use his Justice Department to start seizing records and spy on. Scarborough goes on. It sounds beyond Nixonian to me.
Beyond Nixonian. Where are the Republicans? I mean, certainly.
They don't want to address this publicly, Dom. How's a law and order party going to deal with the fact that the deep state Department of Justice under Trump was investigating the opposition, spying on them? Wasn't that Trump's whole thing? No, they were spying on me. Of course, that's never been founded in truth. But in fact, the Trump DOJ was spying on Democratic members of the House Intelligence Committee, the very ones that were soon to be impeaching the president.
What did Barr say? Political is reporting. Barr said that while he was Attorney General, he was not aware of any congressman records being sought in a leak case. He added that Trump never encouraged him to zero in on the Democratic lawmakers who reportedly became targets of the former president's push to unmask leakers of classified information. Trump was not aware of who we were looking at in any of the cases, Barr said. I never discussed the leak cases with Trump. He didn't really ask me any of the specifics. Now, the Raw story goes on to write, for analysis, MSNBC interviewed Betsy Woodruff Swan. Now, she's one of the political journalists who wrote the story on Barr that I just quoted. Here's what she had to say. That's right. You know, you're dealing with a scandal when it's too spicy for Bill Barr to have found himself connected to, Swan said. What he said was he was not aware of any subpoenas going out that were targeted at members of Congress. In other words, what he was trying to communicate to my colleagues is that this wasn't his fault. It wasn't his responsibility that these particular subpoenas went out. In addition to that, people close to another former Trump Attorney General, Jeff Sessions, have also tried to signal, hey, he actually shouldn't be held responsible for the fact that these subpoenas went out. This is really noteworthy because usually Barr and Sessions are two of the most dogged defenders of just about anything controversial that the Trump Justice Department engaged in. But this appears to be a bridge too far, even for those Trump stalwarts. Swan noted that her reporting showed this isn't something that would have skated through without senior Senate-confirmed political appointees knowing about it, signing off on it, and greenlighting it. So the big challenge for Congress is going to be getting these folks under oath and finally somebody to take responsibility for the fact that the Justice Department tried to scoop up private information and related it to lawmakers who, as part of their job, engage in oversight at the Justice Department. It is clearly making a host of DOJ officials very uncomfortable, and it takes a lot to do that, political journalist Swan said.
Later in that article, Dom, a name we have not yet mentioned, Rod Rosenstein. He's all mixed up in this as well. He was the private practice, but
he was a deputy attorney general, now in the private sector. He was there when these subpoenas apparently were issued. Love to hear what he has to say about this. Now in the private sector, should be pretty easy to get to him.
Subpoenas. I want them all under oath. I want public testimony, Don, nothing behind closed doors. This all needs to be public testimony, and I want it now. I'm talking like next week, dude. I want public testimony now. I think the Democrats have the upper hand. I mean, when your opponents use the powers of justice to investigate, and of course came up with no dirt on their opponents, or they would have released that dirt. You got to know Trump.
You absolutely would have known
out
that.
There.
To go on a fishing expedition for metadata for two of your biggest critics, you know if they're to find any dirt, right? I mean, any affairs, any drug use, any Matt Gaetz kind of behavior would have all been out, even things that were not maybe illegal. They found absolutely nothing. So good on them, good on Schiff, good on Swalwell, bad on Trump and these attorneys general and the Department of Justice. Whoever touched anything, had anything to do with this, should be prosecuted or certainly interviewed under oath.
Come back with us. A fine former U.S. attorney, a friend of ours, James Santelle. It's Friday. We air the grievances. It was supposed to be a slow news day.
Kill Roy! Kill Roy! Kill Roy!
Most common slip-up in espionage. We've walked right into enemy hands.
Nowadays, these partisan feelings are so strong that people have lost any sense of justice.
I think we just started World War III.
A bit snitty.
You want to go out with a bang?
Devil Radio 92.7 FM, covering all the malarkey.
Hello, Jim Santelle.
And how are you today?
Glorious. You and Dom are going to be sharing the Zoom airwaves.
This is
wonderful.
Great and glorious.
Sound is okay today?
Yeah, you're sounding great.
Good. Excellent.
You can trust.
Hey, we're talking.
Say, I was going to post something on social media about next Tuesday's event. Is there? Should I just post something off of your Facebook page, or is there some special logo or anything that you're putting together for next Tuesday?
Off the Facebook page, that'd be great.
Local service and repairs for all your automotive needs.
I'll be there after the show then.
Stop from the Devil's Advocate.
Trouble.
To join us for an exclusive live broadcast at
Never.
Neighborhood Bars, the Jade Monkey Cocktail Lounge, located at 217 Cottage Grove Road in Madison on Tuesday, June 15th. Seating is limited, so please go to patreon.com, search for the Devil's Advocates, the greatest radio show ever, and sign up to be a patron. Join us June 15th, 2 to 5 p.m. at the Jade Monkey in Madison for a live broadcast, and stick around for the political party open to the public 5 to 7 p.m. See you then.
I'm Ed Donahue with an AP News Minute. The Justice Department wants an internal probe of revelations the Trump administration seized phone data from House Democrats.
House Intelligence Committee members Adam Schiff and Eric Swalwell have been told the Trump-era Justice Department seized the data as part of an aggressive crackdown on leaks. While the department routinely investigates leaks, opening such a probe into lawmakers is extraordinarily rare. A senior Justice Department official tells the AP Deputy Attorney General Lisa Monaco is asking the department's watchdog to investigate. That comes after the Senate's top Democrats demanded Trump attorneys General Bill Barr and Jeff Sessions testify about the seizures. Sagar Magani, Washington.
A Chicago police officer has been charged with breaching the U.S. Capitol and entering a senator's office during the January riot. Prosecutors allege Carol Chiwisik is among a mob of people who broke in and damaged the office of Oregon Democrat Jeff Merkley. I'm Ed Donahue.
Is your bathroom looking old and worn out? Want to update it, but you don't know where to start? Then let BCI Bath and Shower show you how to turn that old bath into an aisle of beauty and functionality. Our residential bathroom solutions provide the best value on the market, and our customer service is second to none. Our cost-effective BCI Bath and Shower family of products has what you need.
Remodeling our bathroom was a big decision for us.
They didn't make a mess out of our house at all. And at the end of the day, we had a beautiful new bathroom. And it was a great experience the whole way through.
We have the best monthly payment programs in the industry, with payments as low as $68 per month, or no interest, no payments for 18 months. That's right. Get the bathroom of your dreams now and pay for it in 2021. Call 1-800-303-2352 for a free no-obligation price quote. That's 1-800-303-2352. When you want quality bathroom products at a great price, it's got to be BCI Bath and Shower. That's 1-800-303-2352.
For Devil Radio, 92.7 FM and WTTN 1580 AM. I'm Luke Mathers with your headlines for Friday, June 11th. The Wisconsin Department of Corrections reported earlier this year that the department is seeing roughly 15% of correctional officer positions vacant across the state, leading to many hours of overtime by corrections officers to staff the state's prisons. Yesterday, the Joint Finance Committee approved $42 million in the upcoming budget for DOC compensation and benefits, an amount lower than both the department and Governor Tony Evers requested. The Republican-backed committee also approved only 28 new corrections positions, down from the 71 new positions Governor Evers requested to address the work shortage in the Department of Corrections. Forecasts of partial cloud coverage throughout the day with a chance for an isolated thunderstorm this afternoon, high today of 94 degrees. Variable clouds and wind expected tonight with a chance for scattered thunderstorms and a low of 69 degrees. You're listening to Devil Radio.
I don't know if you know the Devil's Advocates, but they are kind of a big deal.
Welcome back to the Devil's Advocates radio show. Our next guest, he's kind of a big deal. He is James Santelle, former U.S. attorney, friend of ours. Jim, thought we'd see you at the big party at the Jade Monkey on Tuesday, but apparently the headlines keep pulling you back, sir. We appreciate you answering the call.
It is always a pleasure to be with you, talking about those headlines.
Let me ask you about the headline. Here is my take on it. Trump's DOJ were spying on Congressmen Eric Swalwell, Adam Schiff, legislative staffers, and their families. Jim, I didn't know the Trump DOJ could do that.
It is quite remarkable, isn't it? And it's one of those situations where the headlines pretty much tell the whole story. So as we always do, let's take a page from Don McGahn, who said recently, they don't teach you this in law school. But they do teach it apparently on 92.7, so we'll go down that road. If I issue a grand jury subpoena, and I can do that as a prosecutor on behalf of the grand jury, I still have to have some basis for doing that. I can't simply say, you know what, I don't like Dom, I don't like Mike, I'm going to see what's going on in their lives. I've got to have some reason to believe I'm going to get some information from that. So the first question that I would ask if I release a Monaco or now the Inspector General is, what was the basis for your going after Schiff and Swalwell and presumably 10 others and their family members, including perhaps a child? What was the predicate? What did you hope to find by doing that? And what was the basis for believing that you would find that by doing that sort of thing? The second question I would also ask is, we have a gag order here, okay? So there's a judge involved. And the judge is the one who issued the gag order that said, Apple, do not disclose this. He gave a time period, that time period ran, and now this was disclosed. What did you tell the judge about the predicate for that inquiry? What was the reason for your going down that road? Those are the questions that need to be asked. And again, this all comes, as we know, in the midst of 2017, 2018, when the president at that time was doing what? Calling for an investigation of Adam Schiff, calling for an investigation of the same people who were looking at him. So the third question is, please tell me, Department of Justice, that this was not predicated upon the chief executive down the street at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue telling you to go after him. Because if that's the case and you can't answer those other questions, there's some deep trouble here justifying those kinds of headlines.
Jim, apparently, according to Rick Sargent at the Washington Post, Adam Schiff has been asking those very questions of the now DOJ under Garland. and they're not being very communicative about that. Apparently, there's been some discussions, some back and forth discussions, but nothing forthcoming yet. Jim, why do you think that would be?
It's got to happen at some point, plainly. And I'll give the Attorney General here, and I'll give Lisa Monaco a little bit of time, because this does break. Although again, they've been in office for a while now, they should know what's going on here. I'm assuming that right now, as we're speaking, she is reaching out to those very people. She's they're in her offices. Those people who are described at the ends of the New York Times report, who are still there at the department, who are involved in this, asking those questions. I'll give her a bit of time to get answers to those before she sends the report back to Adam Schiff and to the Congress and others. I'll give her a bit of time, maybe a day, maybe or two or so, before she goes public with that, so that no mistakes made. But that has to come forth. And that raises, of course, the other issue, Dom and Mike, that we've been talking about all week long, which is Merrick Garland. How do you define the Department of Justice today? And you got to do more than simply saying, you know what, we're not going to do that again. You've got to go to do to remedy this and to make certain that people who are still there, people who were there in the past, are identified as engaged. If in fact there's no predicate for this, if this was simply a response to a political request by the president, implicit or explicit, there needs to be some accountability for that. And Merrick Garland, as I said, does need to do more than say just no more. We've got to go back and remedy those past horrific mistakes, if in fact they were made.
Jim, I want to get to the bottom of this. I want a public inquiry, perhaps the Senate Judiciary Committee. Is that where we would see testimony, and could it be compelled from two former attorney generals? Because apparently both Jeff Sessions and Bill Barr, your former buddy, are mixed up in this. And Jim, one other digression here. We played the last time Bill Barr was addressed by Kamala Harris and gave a very evasive answer to whether or not the president ever suggested that the Department of Justice investigate any particular, let's call them political enemies of the president. And do you think now with 2020 hindsight, Jim, A, Barr was hiding something, and Bill, and B, how do we compel the testimony of Sessions and Barr?
Sure. I would fire on all cylinders here. I would certainly endorse and let Michael Horowitz, the Inspector General, to do his job. I would expect Lisa Monaco to make some statements, if not the Attorney General himself, very soon about this, because the American public needs to know. I would anticipate that those Senate committees, House committees can also, obviously it's House members who are the targets of this, Swalwell and Schiff and presumably 10 others. They should all be pursuing this, because as we know, the history of these things in any administration is everybody investigating, you always get a greater picture, right? So all of that needs to be pursued. We have some issues here. Right? This goes back again to the Don McGahn story. We now know that Jeff Sessions and Bill Barr are now private citizens. We certainly hope that if there is a subpoena issued for their appearance, we're not going to go down the road of stonewalling that and preventing them from testifying. We're not going to run back into court and once again say, no, they cannot testify at all. We'd like to think that this Department of Justice would certainly support their testifying and not put up any sort of defenses. But that's my concern about that we're going to go down that road again, not resolved in the Don McGahn situation, because we resolved that, again, not amicably, but through a settlement agreement. We don't have a clear statement from an appellate court about that issue, at least in this setting. And so they should testify and they should appear before the Congress. They should be interviewed by the Inspector General. They should provide information. I see already a little bit of reporting that Bill Barr is saying that he doesn't recall anything. He wasn't advised. I don't know how clear that reporting is yet, but he plainly is out there making some statements. All the more reason to have him under oath answering those kinds of questions, no longer from Kamala Harris, but from her successors there, asking those piercing questions. What did you know? What authorization did you give, if any, to these folks who are identified in the New York Times report? And again, the all-important questions. What was the reason for your issuing these grand jury subpoenas? What did you and the people for whom you're responsible tell the judge about the reason for identifying them in particular? Please tell me this was not simply a fishing expedition because you saw them as political rivals to the chief executive, the president, who asked you to do so. Please tell me that wasn't the case.
Folks, you're listening to the Devil's Advocates radio show. That's James Santelle, former U.S. attorney, good friend of ours. Well, Jim, let me ask you, you mentioned perhaps House investigations. Could the affected parties, talking about Swalwell and Schiff, I mean, they're two of the better questioners in the Democratic side. They were both impeachment managers, if I recall. Well, if Matt Gaetz gets to go question the FBI director, Christopher Wray, there's no real good reason, as far as I'm concerned, that Schiff and Swalwell, should recuse. Hell, they should be able to put Barr on the stand and pipe him with questions directly. At least that's my opinion, Jim.
In the world that I normally live in, which is the world of legal niceties and ethics and those kinds of things, we would not have so-called the victims of the offense conduct doing the questioning, which is what your point of your question is all about. We learned in the impeachment process, when you get onto Capitol Hill, all those kinds of nice legalities, those things they do teach you in law school, kind of go out the window. And so is it possible that you could have an Eric Swalwell and Adam Schiff and others who were the very targets of these grand jury subpoenas and information requests, asking the people who issued them about the reasons for their doing that? Probably so. And again, because again, the legal world and worlds of courts, that would not happen, but here it could very well happen. And again, the question is, you don't want the process to be so tainted by some sort of personal animus. On the other hand, this is politics. This is politics, but it's also the rule of law. It's also the rule of law. And you'd like to think that a Jerry Nadler, others would be supervising this in a way that emphasize that fundamental point.
Jim, legal niceties are dead.
It certainly, again, when I saw this reporting last night, we were communicating, and my great concern is, again, what about the past, and the big issue is, let us hope that the present Attorney General, in context of this kind of thing, again, remedies the problems that may have existed inside his department. Now he's the Department of Justice. And again, in the wake of the E.G. and Carroll matter, in the wake of the Barr memorandum, let's make some thoughtful analysis, and let's do what's right, not because it's politically expedient to do it, but because the American people need to know about it, and because it makes sense under legal niceties, again, to go back to those other issues, not to represent the President of the United States of America in the E.G. and Carroll matter, and not to appeal a decision that compels the department to release a strategic memorandum, most of which was not legal in nature. The Attorney General, Merrick Garland, needs to have some refocus on those issues. I hope this issue now prompts him and Lisa Monaco to make those important decisions based upon the rule of law that will enable us to find out what really happened here.
James Santelle, former U.S. attorney, I got to tell you, man, if I knew that the Department of Justice was so gangsta, I'd have tried harder to get into law school. You got to be kidding me, man. All right, so let's walk me through this since I may have taken the LSAT a couple of times. I never went to law school, Jim. What is the process to get the subpoena? How many people in this specific circumstance, because we're talking about members of Congress, so that brings it to a different level to my understanding. Besides the judge, how many people do you think would be involved in this kind of inquiry?
Sure, and that's the central point. You've got it just right, and you don't have to go to law school to ask that very important question, Dom. So you got it just right. Again, it starts with the individual who says, you know what, I'm going to be the one who's going to issue this grand jury subpoena. To do that analysis, I myself, whether the individual, the small group, have got to say, and I'm going to send this request to an entity or to a person because I've got some reason to believe they've got information that will help me. That's number one. Number two, when you're pursuing this information with respect to a member of Congress, you bet there's going to be supervisory oversight. And frankly, when I was U.S. attorney, we never had to do this. But if it had gone to that level, I would not have made that decision at my level. As a presidentially appointed United States attorney, I would have reached out, frankly, to the Criminal Division Assistant Attorney General, probably the Deputy Attorney General, certainly to the Attorney General himself, herself, at those times, and gotten that authority. And so once again, this is not a decision that is made just by a 2-year tenured assistant U.S. attorney somewhere in the D.C. U.S. Attorney's office. Somebody has got to not only make that analysis, make those findings that this is predicated upon some reason to believe that will result in good information about your leak investigation, and there's got to be some oversight. So that's the other question was asked. Who knew about this? Who gave the authorization to do it? And what kinds of questions were asked about the legitimacy of these grand jury subpoenas in the first place. The add-on, as I've said, is the judge at some point then should have also been advised of what the predicate was. I'll be fascinated to see what it was the Department of Justice said to that overseeing judge who permitted the gag order to go forward. What did we represent to the judge? And please tell me once again, this is not an Amy Berman Jackson situation where you go back and say, well, we weren't quite as clear as we should have been. Please tell me that we were honest with the judge, and if we weren't, once again, not only shame on us, but correct this and make certain it never happens again and go back and remedy the past.
Jim, we have about 1 minute left in this segment. Looking back on the testimony, the answer that then AG Barr gave to then Senator Harris, do you think he perjured himself in any way?
You know, he looks up perjury, as we said, is always a tough thing to prove in court, beyond a reasonable doubt that someone knowingly made a misstatement about a provable fact. It's a tough thing to prove. We always say that as prosecutors. And when he looks up and he says, well, I'm struggling with what you mean by the verbs that you're using and those kinds of things, it's a difficult thing to show. I'd offer that as the Attorney General, we shouldn't be asking that question, right? The Attorney General perjure himself? Gosh, we certainly hope the Attorney General appear before Congress or anywhere would be honest with us what happened. If he doesn't want to say something, tell us that and move on.
Jim, you got a few more minutes for us on the other side?
We certainly do, always.
Come back. More James Santelle, our good friend, and perhaps the nomination and awarding of the D-bag of the day. Jim, you might make you say his name. Stay with us, Jim. Bill Barr, more Devils.
Was that wrong? Should I not have done that? I tell you, I gotta plead ignorance on this thing, because if anyone had said anything to me at all when I first started here, that sort of thing was frowned upon.
Steven.
Who said that?
Me, down here.
Ugh, what are you, a yellow booger?
I'm a banana slug, Steven.
What are you doing in my room?
I'm your sense of adventure. It's been a long time since we've had an adventure in the forest.
Mom took me to the forest last year.
I'm a slug, Steven. It took me a long time to get here.
You're right. I should get out.
Yeah, the forest is not that far away.
Hey, Mom!
Come to the forest where the more adventurous you lives. Check out discovertheforest.org for cool places nearby. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
President Biden's American Jobs Plan would invest in clean energy jobs, move the country towards clean power, and create millions of good-paying jobs for families like yours. It's the most progressive plan to create American jobs in decades. Members of Congress need to hear that this plan would help you and your family. Join Move On's fight to help working families. Text ACT to 668-366 to join Move On. Message and data rates may apply. Paid for by MoveOn.org Civic Action.
Hi, this is Dom from the Devil's Advocates, inviting you to join us on Patreon.com. Patreon allows for our audience to access exclusive programming not available anywhere else and gives you the ability to directly support the greatest radio show ever. History's patrons have supported the works of Michelangelo, Leonardo da Vinci, Monet, and now with your support, the Devil's Advocates. So please go to Patreon.com and search the Devil's Advocates to pick your subscription. That's Patreon.com and the Devil's Advocates, the greatest radio show ever.
Wisconsin Republicans have put forth a legislative proposal.
Oh, they're going to take the Medicaid money for like $2 billion?
No, not that one.
Oh.
That one's highly popular.
Oh, they're getting behind voting rights. That's awesome.
No, they've perhaps gotten differing advocacy on voting.
They finally come around on some gun safety legislation.
No thoughts and prayers. That's our plan.
Well, then what have they been doing then?
Legalize marijuana. No.
Oh,
Listen to Devil's Advocates weekdays from 2 to 5 p.m.
You'll get nothing and like it.
The Devil's Advocates. Never personal, only politics.
And we are back. Thank you for listening to the Devil's Advocates radio show. Former U.S. Attorney James Santelle sticking around for one more segment. Jim, thank you for doing so. The news, the DOJ Inspector General Michael Horowitz going to get involved here, Jim. Now, I might be a little cynical because of what I've seen going on in the Department of Justice these last several years and some of the actions taken here, even under the new administration. Jim, how confident are you in Michael Horowitz and his ability to get to the bottom of this issue in a timely manner?
Sure. Well, the good thing about the Inspector General, of course, is that while any inspector general is a part of the agency. You've got inspectors general inside virtually every single federal agency in Washington, D.C., and they have obviously offices around the country as well. Is they do have authority to interview, they have authority to investigate. What they do not have the authority to do is to prosecute. They make findings. They come to conclusions about what did and did not happen, sometimes perfectly, sometimes imperfectly, and the subject obviously to some debate down the road. But they do not have the capacity in the end to either fire anyone, to prosecute. They make referrals, for example, to the criminal division, to the civil division, to the attorney general about what should happen with respect to the things that they have found that need remedy. To the FBI, we know from Chris Wray's recent testimony that when it came to the affidavits, for example, that were issued in the context of the Russia investigation, they made some findings there. And what did Chris Wray do? He remedied those by putting forth about 40 different things inside the FBI to make certain that those things will not happen again. So a fair amount of confidence that the information can be disclosed, will be the subject of some public revelation here. But once again, going back to our previous conversation, that's not to put all our eggs in that particular basket, because two things are still out there. One is findings are one thing, remedying them and making certain that it doesn't happen again, and that if there were, heaven forbid, crimes committed, if there are other offenses inside the department, policy violations, that those are addressed. And the other piece that I would reaffirm once again is the United States Congress has this oversight responsibility with respect to the President Attorney General, the President Deputy Attorney General, the President Inspector General himself and herself one day perhaps as well, to review these kinds of things and ask the same kinds of questions. It is always the case that when you've got lots of people looking at things, lots of people asking questions, looking at documents, that you get a greater view. And I think we've been surprised about how consistent the stories are, always filling in each other when it comes to getting the entire picture.
Jim, even if Donald Trump was publicly out saying, go investigate crooked Adam Schiff or Eric Swalwell, even if he was seeking this investigation of his political enemies, presumably Trump didn't get a gun and hold it to the head of the attorney general or whatever, officers of the DOJ that were complicit in this. Jim, are these ethical lapses? Are these potentially criminal lapses, as you've talked about? And, you talk about cleaning up the mess. How do we get to the purge, Jim? If this is a systemic problem at DOJ, do we need to purge the ranks?
Right. All those things, many things to unpack there. So first, it goes to this central issue we have talked about it at such great length during the prior administration and this administration as well. The importance of having this, not just arm's length, but really separation between the White House and the Department of Justice, not when it comes to broad policy, but on specific cases. We do not have an influence on Roger Stone and on Michael Flynn and others like that. And so that separation, which appears to be in place in this administration, that's a good thing to see, but it underscores even for the future the importance of that big chasm, if you will, between those two institutions. Second, I go back and I'm citing an awful lot of people who I do not admire today, but Michael Cohen was the one who said, Donald Trump doesn't come right out and put a gun to your head. He doesn't say these things explicitly, but when he does say we should be investigating Adam Schiff and says it 5, 10, 15 times, it doesn't take a lot for people, if they are in fact inclined to do the president's bidding, who don't understand that gulf between the Department of Justice and the White House, to do just that. And if that is the case, and if those people, again, I would commend to your listeners this entire New York Times. It's an easy read. It's not 500 pages long. At the very end of that report, they talk about the people who are still there in positions of responsibility. I assume, as I say, Lisa Monaco is talking to them right now. If those people in any way, shape, or form were taking their cues from the White House in doing this, and presumably they would deny that, but there's any indication that that was the animating factor here, they need to go. They need to be fired. And plainly, that is an ethical lapse. That is not consistent with the rules of prosecution for leaks, for any type of prosecution, and it undermines the very fabric of the Department of Justice. And that's why this is so important. I'm concerned that America's listeners to this wonderful program and others are going to look at this and think, wow, just another political dispute. This is just as serious, if not more so, than anything we've seen before, because you should have. What are we talking about? We're talking about the integrity and the reliance on the Department of Justice. And if we can't have that, and we can't proceed down this important road of understanding how our government works and correcting things that are wrong and litigating and prosecuting and investigating with some sense of confidence, that's when governments begin to crumble. And that's why this is so very important.
Well, Jim, that's the qualm I would have. How can we possibly expect the DOJ to investigate itself, to potentially prosecute itself? Jim, is now the time, or will it soon be the time, for another special counsel?
It could well be, depending upon where this goes. And if Lisa Monaco looks at this and says, you know what, these are folks who are, again, so inside the fabric of the Department of Justice that even if only for appearance sake, and I don't mean that in sort of a superficial reason, basis, the appearance of impropriety is sometimes as significant as the actual impropriety. That's the reason why Bob Mueller was appointed, to have this sense that you've got somebody independent, if you will, even though tied to the Deputy Attorney General, to take a look at this. This is serious. And if in fact those questions that I asked before produce, at least superficially, at least an initial cut, unfavorable answers, that may be an appropriate thing to do, not only for the integrity of the ultimate findings, but also to ensure the American public that this is not, as you're indicating, Mike, the department looking at itself and making charges about itself, making findings about itself, sentencing itself, and coming to resolution without that independent engagement.
Jim, we're down below a minute. Joe Scarborough called this Nixonian or worse. Do you see Watergate parallels?
I do. This is, if in fact there's this political focus on this, and again, if there is not a reason for having issued these grand jury subpoenas, it is the enemies list, right? This is what we were talking about in 1972 and 3 and 4 and 5 and to this day. It's identifying the present day enemies of the president, and that's why the Department of Justice has got to remedy the situation, do it quickly, decisively, and for the integrity of it and for the assurance of the American public.
Well, around here, we got a friends list, and James Santelle, you're on it. Former U.S. Attorney Jim Santelle, thank you so much. Have a wonderful weekend. We'll catch up with you on Tuesday at the Jade Monkey, sir.
Thanks, Jim.
We will see you then. Much more to talk about then, I'm sure. Take care.
No, I don't take responsibility at all.
D-bag of the day.
It's a bit snitty. It's a major award.
My name is Rocker, and this is my vodka. Rocker Vodka is distilled right here in Madison, made from corn and gluten-free. Find Rocker Vodka at Woodman's, Festival Foods, Trixie's Liquor, Star Liquor, Steve's Liquor, Willie Street Co-op, Total Wine, Vic Pierce, Miller's Market, Cambridge Cooler. Find more at rockervodka.com. It's yummy. Must be 21. Please drink responsibly.
Hey, Dom, is your carpeting starting to have a little bit of a funk to it?
That's a bit of a personal question, Crudy.
No, I know this is really busy time for one of our sponsors, Zero Res of Madison. People want a cleaner, healthier home.
You mean spending the entire quarantine locked in with bacteria and allergens isn't healthy? Who knew?
You want to get it professionally cleaned well before it gets funky. Even if you vacuum frequently,
I vacuum a lot.
You still need to get it professionally cleaned. Schedule your carpet cleaning online at zeroresmadison.com. Tell them the Devil's Advocate sent you.
You are listening to WTTN Columbus, W224EG Madison, always streaming at doubleradio927.com.
AP News. I'm Ed Donahue. The Justice Department's internal watchdog is now looking into what top Democrats call a shocking abuse of power by the Trump administration. The AP's Sagar Magani has the story.
The department's inspector general is investigating after revelations that the Trump-era Justice Department secretly seized phone records from at least 2 House Democrats in a leaks probe. Intelligence Committee Chair Adam Schiff and panel member Eric Swalwell say Apple told them last month the department subpoenaed their metadata and received it 3 years ago as the committee investigated Trump's Russia ties. Subpoenaing lawmakers' private information is extraordinarily rare. The Senate's top two Democrats are demanding former Trump attorneys general Bill Barr and Jeff Sessions testify. Sagar Magani, Washington.
A Chicago police officer is charged with breaching the U.S. Capitol and entering a senator's office during the January riot. Superintendent David Brown says the officer's name is Carol Cheswick.
The fact that a Chicago police officer has been charged in that attack on American democracy makes my blood boil, makes me sick to my stomach.
Prosecutors say Cheswick was among a mob of people who broke in and damaged the office of Oregon Democratic Senator Jeff Merkley. She recorded the words of George Floyd. Teenager Darnella Frazier was awarded a special citation by the Pulitzer Prizes. She pulled out her cell phone and recorded the police restraint and death last year of George Floyd in Minneapolis. Group of 7 leaders brought pledges to share vaccine doses and make a fairer global economy to a seaside summit in England. The FDA is allowing the release of 10 million doses of Johnson & Johnson's coronavirus vaccine from a troubled factory in Baltimore, but material to make many more doses must be thrown out because of possible contamination. This is AP News.
Is your bathroom looking old and worn out? Want to update it, but you don't know where to start? Then let BCI Bath and Shower show you how to turn that old bath into an aisle of beauty and functionality. Our residential bathroom solutions provide the best value on the market, and our customer service is second to none. Our cost-effective BCI Bath and Shower family of products has what you need.
Remodeling our bathroom was a big decision for us.
They didn't make a mess out of our house at all. And at the end of the day, we had a beautiful new bathroom. And it was a great experience the whole way through.
We have the best monthly payment programs in the industry, with payments as low as $68 per month or no interest, no payments for 18 months. That's right. Get the bathroom of your dreams now and pay for it in 2021. Call 1-800-303-2352 for a free, no-obligation price quote. That's 1-800-303-2352.
Hello.
When you want quality bathroom products at a great price,
How are you, Bill?
it's got to be BCI Bath and Shower. That's 1-800.
Glorious. You look great. You sound great.
Get
Magic is happening.
For Father's Day, Crazy Lenny has over 100.
And that's all comparatively, of course.
Choose from. The largest selection in the entire USA.
We have mountain e-bikes for $1,500.
All right, we got about 2.5 minutes.
For $1,100, commuter e-bikes for $980.
Thank you for your time.
E-bike gift certificate, so Dad selects the bike he wants and the size he wants.
Gift certificates are discounted, so get a $300 certificate for Dad. You pay only $240.
Get Dad an e-bike gift certificate at Crazy Lenny's e-bikes.
Boys and Girls Clubs of Dane County need your help. Our annual bike event is scheduled for July 17th. We need hundreds of individual riders and donors to encourage participation in pledges. We will be giving away 2 Crazy Lenny electric bikes, 1 e-bike for a participant and 1 for individual that pledges to support a rider. Come ride for the Boys and Girls Club or make a pledge at bgcdc.org.
Knucklehead CBD and Vapes, your one-stop shop for everything you need. Knucklehead strives to be the safest place in Madison. Forgot a mask? No problem. We got one for you. Stuck at home or in a hurry? Call us at 608-284-0151 and schedule a pickup or delivery. Check out our ever-growing online store at knuckleheadcbd.com and get something shipped right to your door. We love sales at Knucklehead, so make sure to check out our social media for all of our daily deals. Shop is open 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. every day. Knucklehead CBD and Vapes, 550 State Street. I'm Lando Commando, and I'll see you there.
Hey, I am Noemi. And I am Cecily. We are the hosts of IPOS on Air, only on Devil Radio, Friday at 7 p.m. Central Time. Join us as we discuss climate justice, how it intersects with all aspects of our lives, and how you can work towards a more sustainable and equitable world, because it is our responsibility to take care of our communities. We also take your calls. It is our mission to take the climate conversation off air, so email us at inpursuitofsunshine@gmail.com.
In Pursuit of Sunshine airs every Friday at 7 p.m. For Devil Radio, 92.7 FM and WTTN 1580 AM, I'm Luke Mathers with your headlines for Friday, June 11th. In retaliation for being called out for failing to recognize Black History Month in February, Wisconsin Assembly Majority Leader Jim Steineke is refusing to schedule any votes on proposed resolutions by his Democratic colleagues. In May, Representative Francesca Hong of Madison praised the passing of a resolution recognizing Asian, Pacific Islander, and Desi American Heritage Month. Representative Hong is the first Asian American elected to the Wisconsin legislature and had to remove her name as a co-author of the resolution for it to pass. In her announcement of the May resolution, Representative Hong called out Republican leadership for failing to recognize Black History Month in February. Now, Leader Steinecke's office is citing the press release as a reason to deny any Democratic proposed resolution from getting a vote. You're listening to Devil Radio 92.7 FM and WTTN 1580 AM.
Warning, you are about to listen to the greatest radio show ever. And due to contractual obligations and to shield our airwaves corporate licensees from any semblance of liability, responsibility, and gullibility, we must tell you the views represented on this show are not necessarily those of this station or its management. This radio show contains differing points of view on current political topics, and due to the nature of its contents, it should be heard by everyone. Thank you for listening. Now live from the heart of liberal Wisconsin, where the political party is just beginning, welcome to the Devil's Advocate Show. Best friends proving it's never personal, only politics.
Please allow me to introduce myself.
Now here are your hosts, Dom and Crute.
Welcome back to the Devil's Advocates Radio Show. A glorious Friday, although we are experiencing brief rain showers here on the west side of Madison. Want to thank our most recent guest, a fine one, former U.S. Attorney James Santelle. And we'd like to welcome back another fine guest, a friend of ours. He's Bill Press. He's a podcaster. He's a pundit. And most importantly, he's our Friday afternoon buddy. Welcome back. Bill, how you doing, man?
Hey, Bill.
Hey, Dom. Hi, Crute. Good to join you guys.
Thanks, man.
Bill,
but I'm disappointed. You're in the studio today. You're not out on the road, you know?
Buddy, we're doing a bar show tomorrow and Tuesday.
Oh, is that okay?
Remember Tuesday, Bill, the one I invited you to on Tuesday?
Oh, that's all right.
You know,
I'll get my tickets.
All right.
Never too late. It's a 90-minute flight to DC from here. You could be here in no time. You could be here for the happy hour, Bill.
Yeah, but you have to go through Chicago or something, don't you, first? No?
Direct flights. I can get you a flight. If you want to come bad enough, Bill, we'll get you here. But, Bill, you know, I thought this was going to be a slow news day and we'd catch up on our golf games or something. But, you know, spying at the Department of Justice on sitting Democratic congressmen. Bill, are you at all troubled by these headlines?
Are you kidding? No, I mean
a little bit, but
yeah. Hello. I mean, when the government, this is so Nixonian to me, right? It's Donald Trump sicking the Justice Department on number one reporters, you know, for CNN. Barbara Starr. I mean, if there's somebody at CNN who's hardly a controversial, she's just a good, damn good, long time reporter. They're going after Barbara Starr because they're afraid somebody was leaking to her or whatever. New York Times reporters, that's bad enough. I mean, that in itself is worthy of a Senate and congressional investigation. But then it turns out Donald Trump is saying, oh, Adam Schiff, he's my enemy. Go after him, right? Eric Swalwell, he's my enemy. Go after him. I mean, this is weaponizing the Justice Department. And I don't believe Bill Barr for a second when he says he had nothing to do with it. This was Donald Trump. This was Jeff Sessions. This was Bill Barr.
But is Bill Barr a shrewd enough attorney to avoid leaving his fingerprints? Perhaps an ethical lapse. But Bill, do you think they'll ever catch him on a criminal charge? I'm talking about Bill Barr.
We're talking about Bill Barr? No. I think he is dumb enough to leave his fingerprints. I think he's a dumb ass. And if he were not a dumb ass, he would not have gone to work for Donald Trump. He had one time.
He wrote there's your beautiful cover letter.
There's your definition, right, of a dumb ass. I mean, going to work. He gave up. First, he was Attorney General. He had a great reputation in this town as a respected, conservative, reasonable, you know, attorney, partner in a big law firm. And he gave that up to go work for this schmuck from Brooklyn or from Queens, who, you know, who didn't know his ass from a hot rock. No. I believe Barr's all over this thing. And I think, by the way, I think he's all over also this report that says they did not clear
Lafayette Square
to make room so Donald Trump could go to the church. Of course they did. That report was a bogus report. You know, it didn't even it talked to the Park Service about why did you do this. It did not talk to the Secret Service. Who do you think told the Park Service to get rid of the protesters, peaceful protesters, so that they could bring the president across? The Secret Service did. But Bill Barr, who says he didn't know anything about that, BS. He's lying. I'm telling you. I'm not sure, Crute. I'm not saying he's going to end up in jail, but I'm saying he's guilty of sin.
Our fine guest, he's Bill Press. Bill, let me ask you, Joe Scarborough this morning on MSNBC talked about the lack of GOP outrage. I mean, if they saw these headlines about the Obama DOJ, can you imagine? They'd already be rolling out the gallows at Pennsylvania Boulevard. So what do you think about the lack of GOP outrage or even public reaction?
You know, I got to tell you, I don't get it. I really don't. And I've talked about this a lot with Republican friends of mine. Look, I think the people who do not speak up are worse than the Donald Trumps of this world, almost, or worse than the Mo Brooks or Matt Gaetz or something, or Marjorie Taylor Greene. I mean, the stuff they say is outrageous. But the fact that smart, patriotic Republicans who know it's crazy, know it's wrong, are unwilling to stand up and say so, like Liz Cheney did. I mean, Liz Cheney, I think, is an American hero today, right? And that doesn't mean that she agrees with you and me on anything, or we agree on her with any public policies, if you will. But, calling for violent overthrow of the United States is wrong, and it shouldn't take too much courage to say so, right? So I don't get it. And look, Lindsey Graham's not going to do it. Josh Hawley is lost. Ted Cruz, he's worthless. So is Mitch McConnell. But I mean, how about people like a Rob Portman, right? Or,
there's not very many of them, are there, Bill?
No, there are not very many of them. But there's some people that you think will at least be halfway decent about it, right? But
you would think that a guy like Ron Johnson, who takes outrage so often and headed up the HISGAC, did multiple investigations of emails and Benghazi and every other damn thing. You think a guy like that, at least on principle, would be outraged?
No, I purposely did not put Ron Johnson on the list. He's lost. Ron Johnson, whatever happened to him, I don't know, right? But he's the next Joe McCarthy, as far as I'm concerned, from Wisconsin, sadly.
Bill, Department of Justice, Merrick Garland, new administration, but we see some of these rulings come out that don't give me a whole lot of confidence, and maybe they'll come around, and maybe they have plans that we're not aware of. How are you feeling right now about the ability for Merrick Garland and his crew to get a handle on and address some of these obvious issues?
I think he's been a little slow to step up to the plate, to tell the truth. Because, there were a couple of these cases where reportedly it slipped over into the Biden administration and they didn't immediately shut them down, right? And so he was either, I want to give him the benefit of the doubt and say they were just slow to bring him up to date on some of this stuff. I hope so. I hope it wasn't a case where he said, oh, no, this is legitimate. Let's go after these guys. Because remember, the last administration that went after reporters and subpoenaed their records and called them enemies of the state was Barack Obama. He came after more reporters than any other presidents had before him.
Yeah, but he didn't call him enemy of the state. That's mostly Trump, right?
Enemy of the state. There was a phrase that Eric Holder used that was pretty damning. I forget exactly now what it was, but it was not good stuff, right? So I just hope, I'm giving Merrick Garland for now the benefit of the doubt. I got something else. This idea this week that they defended Donald Trump in his lawsuit, the lawsuit against him by E. Jean Carroll, this woman in New York, saying that she can't sue him for defamation because he was president of the United States when he called her a creep or prostitute or whore, whatever he called her. You know, why are they defending Donald Trump? Screw Donald Trump, you know, let him defend himself. I don't understand that.
Well, and maybe it's, you know, I've seen some people think, well, maybe it's procedural. They're, you know, they're getting their hands around it, and, you know, it's the office of the presidency, not necessarily Trump himself. And I'm with you there, Bill. I mean, hopefully that will, you know, will come out and she will get, you know, whatever justice she can out of this circumstance. How are you feeling about journalism right now in this country, given what we see in the attacks? You mentioned the Obama administration, certainly the Trump administration, very vocal about the enemy of the state. We see how he's utilized the Department of Justice to go after journalists and now certainly, you know, political enemies as well. Do you think, Bill, journalism is holding up and doing its part as well as it could be?
No.
What would you like to see done differently?
I didn't mean to leave you short there.
No, that's all right. What are you missing?
Look, this is a whole question. I gave a class as a guest lecturer last night at George Washington University about this whole issue. First of all, I think journalism is in trouble today, largely because of social media. You know, anybody today, every single American today is a reporter, is a commentator, is a publisher, is an editor, is out there, has almost equal access to the airwaves, and they just make stuff up and can put it out there, and a lot of it gets picked up. It gets picked up by right-wing talk radio, then it gets picked up by Fox News and Newsmax. And then the cables say, oh boy, this is getting so much circulation, we got to talk about it. Then you got Donald Trump talking about it. I mean, this week, there were stories this week about Donald Trump maybe running for Congress, being Speaker of the House. That is weapons crazy insane. Why should people even be giving that time of day? So I think journalism's got to come to its senses and do its job and report the truth, and forget a lot of this nutty nonsense that's out there.
Bill, you got a few more minutes for us? We'll keep this conversation going with you.
Anything you want to talk about, of course. Well, I have nothing better to do than drink my Diet Pepsi and join you guys on a Friday.
All right, Bill.
It looks a little late for Diet Pepsi. I'm just come back for Devil's Advocates with our fine guest, Bill Press.
They hire usually good people. Well, history is written by the winners, so it largely depends on who's writing the history.
The former president, the fact that he needed to drop a press release to call the horse a junkie.
The horse came from a broken home. I heard he was sold for like $1,000, was born on a dirt patch. Then the pressure, you know, the constant, the training over and over. I mean, really not getting to have a normal childhood and grow up and hang out with their other little horsey friends. You know, then one of those days, walk down the wrong alley and first one's free. And after that, it was all downhill from there.
Dom, that's why they call it horse.
Listen to Devil's Advocates weekdays from 2 to 5 p.m.
President Biden's American Jobs Plan would invest in clean energy jobs, move the country towards clean power, and create millions of good-paying jobs for families like yours. It's the most progressive plan to create American jobs in decades. Members of Congress need to hear that this plan would help you and your family. Join Move On's fight to help working families. Text ACT to 668-366 to join Move On. Message and data rates may apply. Paid for by MoveOn.org Civic Action.
Man, I love my kids so much. I once sat for 3 hours in the cold rain to watch her soccer team lose by 18 goals.
I love my kids so much, I once used a tube to suck snot out of her stuffed nose at 3 a.m.
You win.
Love your kids? Love them enough to make sure they're in the right car seat. From toddlers to tweens, visit nhtsa.gov/the right seat to find the right seat for their age and size. Keep them safe. Visit nhtsa.gov/the right seat. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
The tear gas changed the crowd's demeanor. There was an air of disbelief as people realized that the police whom they supported were firing on them. "What are you doing? We support you," someone yelled. All of a sudden, pro-police people felt the police were attacking them, and they didn't know why. The pro-police crowd went from disbelief and confusion to anger.
The police instigated the crowd, right? The police were the oppressors here. So, Ron, Black Lives Matter?
I don't know, but I'm suspicious. Listen to Devil's Advocates weekdays from 2 to 5 p.m.
What do you do? No one else can dance like you. So what's all of us? There ain't nobody that's fine like us. Hey,
60% of the time, they're right every time. Dom and Cruz are the Devil's Advocates.
there ain't nobody that's
And we are back. Thank you for listening to the Devil's Advocates radio show. If you miss any of this fine program, go to devilradio927.com. You can download podcasts and interviews.
Dominic, we got a fine guest. He stuck around, and I needed your advice, Bill Press.
All right.
A podcaster, a pundit. But, Bill, I got invited to go on the Foxy News this Sunday. So a couple of quick questions. I once prior appeared on Fox News, sort of one of those lefty righty talk radio panels.
Yeah.
Last time I left Joe Walsh stuttering about the Trump tax plan. So, 3 years later, they've invited me back. First question, do you wear makeup on the Fox News? Do I go put on some makeup, Bill?
Well, are you going in the studio or are you doing
I'll be in a local studio here in Wisconsin.
Yeah, sure. Put some makeup on. You don't need, you look great. You're, good looking guy, but you want to get rid of the shine. Like I got this shine. You don't want that on Fox News. No. First of all, you should go, okay, on Fox News.
What?
No, wait. I used to get invited on Fox News until I wrote a book called Toxic Talk, where I slammed a Bill O'Reilly as a phony. And Bill O'Reilly had Fox News pull the plug on me as a guest on Fox News. I haven't been on since that time. But the reason I went on, and a lot of people, my friends were pissed off that I would appear on Fox News, is I never changed my point of view. And I know you're not going to, Groot, but there were more eyeballs watching me on Fox News than there would have been on MSN or CNN, MSNBC or CNN. So yeah, go out there and give me your best shot, which I know you will.
Well, they're only going to give me one or two shots, Bill. Should I seek a sarcastic, biting one-liner or sort of filibuster? What would you use that?
What's the strategy, Bill?
The shortest and the meanest soundbite is the best. That's my advice. Okay. And don't hold back, because they don't, first of all, that's not you, and they don't want you to hold back.
Okay, one more dumb Fox News question.
Okay.
Do I wear something like I'm wearing now, Bill? You can see me. I'm wearing like a branded Devil Radio golf shirt, advance the brand, if you will. Or do I suck it up and, put on a white shirt and a sport coat or something?
I'd put on a sports coat and a sports shirt, not a tie. That would be my.
Okay. One other, I guess I got one last
All right, then I got one for you guys too. Go ahead.
Now they offered me transportation to the studios. And my first reaction is, well, I drive myself typically. And then I realized Saturday is my birthday. I'm going to be incredibly hungover for this appearance, Bill. And the only way I'm even going to be able to crack my eyes open to make it to Fox News is probably with the benefit of a couple Bloody Marys. So I opted in for the car. I hope I've made the right choice.
Yes, take the car. Yes, take the car, and do not feel guilty about it. They're spending their money on a big liberal like you, and the more money they spend on the left, the better. But
is it fair to ask limousine only?
But
I'm a limousine liberal here, Bill.
But I would probably wait for the Bloody Mary, until after I were off the air.
Yeah, you don't want to get some heartburn, Curdy, on the
make
air.
and bake only then, Bill.
All right, Bill, you got a question for us. What would that be, sir?
Well, the question, I want to be sure you're aware of this. I wasn't aware of it, but yesterday there was a reporter, I got her name here somewhere, Nicole, pardon me, I forget her last name, never heard of her before, who for Politico, who stopped Bernie Sanders in the corridor to interview him, right? And she identified herself as the cannabis supporter from Politico.
Really?
Yes. So I just wanted you guys you should have her on. I asked the managing editor of Politico this morning, Sudeep Reddy, who was on my podcast, and I said, but back up. So Bernie said, she said, he said, what? You're the cannabis supporter? Get this clip. It's a great clip. And she said, yes, I'm the cannabis. And he said, are you stoned right now? And she said, no, I'm not. And he said, is it a requirement to be stoned to be the cannabis reporter?
Only here on the Devil's Advocate.
Bill Press, we got just a couple more minutes, Bill. I want to get your take. Saw an op-ed you had. You have some issues with Democratic Senator Joe Manchin. I'd like to give you just a couple minutes to go into why you are so. What is your grievance against Manchin, Bill?
My grievance against Joe Manchin is that he has joined forces with Mitch McConnell to shut down the United States Senate, and he is dead wrong. First of all, he complains. He says, I support voting rights, and I think we need a bipartisan approach to voting rights. And then he says he's going to vote against the voting rights bill because no Republicans are voting for it. I mean, that's total BS, right? I mean, if the Republicans won't vote for it, that doesn't mean there's something wrong with the bill. It means there's something wrong with the Republicans. And then he says he will not fix the filibuster. We need the filibuster just as it is. 10 years ago, Joe Manchin said we have to fix the filibuster and nobody should be able to use the filibuster to prevent bills from coming to a vote on the floor of the House, which is a Senate, which is just what the Republicans are doing today. He has become the enabler of Mitch McConnell, who, is by his own definition, the Grim Reaper, and has said his goal 100% is to stop Joe Biden from accomplishing anything, the same way he stopped Barack Obama from getting anything done. I don't get it. So Joe Manchin said he's doing this because he has to represent the people of West Virginia. No, he's a United States Senator. His job is to do what's best for the country. So I think he's phony baloney. And
is he getting paid, Bill? Is that why he changed his mind? I mean, he was one of the authors, right?
He was a co-sponsor of the For the People Act last year. I don't know where his money's coming from. I've heard that he got a big chunk of cash from the U.S. Chamber of Commerce. I haven't checked that out. I don't know. All I know is he's dead wrong.
Bill Press, I will tell you this. If you're looking for birthday gifts for the panelists, we accept loose joints, sir. Bill Press, have a wonderful weekend. Hope to see you out on the road somewhere someday real soon. Bill, thanks for coming.
We'll be back again. All right. See you guys.
All right. Thanks, Bill. Appreciate it, man.
Our Devil's Advocate phone lines open 844-967-2789.
We're not doctors.
We'll do it live. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live. The Devils!
In time, you will know the true power of Devil Radio 92.7. It is your destiny.
Get that an e-bike for Father's Day. Crazy Lenny has over 150 different e-bikes to choose from. The largest selection in the entire USA.
We have mountain e-bikes for $1,500, fat tire e-bikes with the throttle for $1,100, commuter e-bikes for $980.
Get Dad an e-bike gift certificate so Dad selects the bike he wants and the size he wants.
Gift certificates are discounted, so get a $300 certificate for Dad. You pay only $240.
Get Dad an e-bike gift certificate at Crazy Lenny's e-bikes.
Hey, Joanne, I hear you have a Tech Protect plan from Community PC.
I have been having services since 2013. He provides monthly maintenance for me. He is able to attach to my computer so he can figure out what my problems are. I'm very computer illiterate. If I had to call somebody on the telephone, I would probably not be able to follow through with that.
Community PC. We know what makes seniors happy.
Coronavirus update. I'm Ed Donahue with an AP News Minute. Stocks finished higher, the Dow up 13 points. Illinois is lifting all capacity limits on bars, restaurants, and other businesses. It means
Chicago is the largest big city in the country that's fully reopened.
Mayor Lori Lightfoot credited the people of Chicago for getting to this point.
You masked up, you got vaxxed up, and now it's time for you to get up, get out of the house this summer and fully and safely and enjoy the events of the best city on the planet.
Data shows more than 68% of Illinois residents 18 and older have received at least one dose. 51% of adults are fully vaccinated. In Tennessee and North Carolina, demand for vaccine has slowed down so much they've given millions of doses back to the federal government, even though less than half of the total populations are vaccinated. Oklahoma has not asked for new doses from the government for more than a month. I'm Ed Donahue.
Is your bathroom looking old and worn out? Want to update it, but you don't know where to start? Then let BCI Bath & Shower show you how to turn that old bath into an aisle of beauty and functionality. Our residential bathroom solutions provide the best value on the market, and our customer service is second to none. Our cost-effective BCI Bath & Shower family of products has what you need.
Remodeling our bathroom was a big decision for us.
They didn't make a mess out of our house at all. And at the end of the day, we had a beautiful new bathroom. And it was a great experience the whole way.
We have the best monthly payment programs in the industry, with payments as low as $68 per month or no interest, no payments for 18 months. That's right. Get the bathroom of your dreams now and pay for it in 2021. Call 1-800-303-2352 for a free no-obligation price quote. That's 1-800-303-2352. When you want quality bathroom products at a great price, it's got to be BCI Bath & Shower. That's 1-800-303-2352.
For Devil Radio, 92.7 FM and WTTN 1580 AM, I'm Luke Mathers with your headlines for Friday, June 11th. On Wednesday, the Wisconsin legislature passed a Republican-backed proposal that would end the expanded unemployment insurance benefits for Wisconsinites of $300 a week the federal government is providing. Earlier this week, Governor Tony Evers said he cannot imagine he will sign that bill. Yesterday, Republicans on the Joint Finance Committee approved less than half of what Governor Tony Evers proposed to spend on the state's stewardship program in the upcoming budget. In his proposal, Governor Evers requested $70 million a year for the next 10 years. Republicans approved $32 million annually and only extended the program 4 years. Forecast of partial cloud coverage throughout the day with a chance for an isolated thunderstorm this afternoon, high today of 94 degrees. Variable clouds and wind expected tonight with a chance for scattered thunderstorms and a low of 69 degrees. You're listening to Devil Radio 92.7 FM and WTTN 1580 AM.
The Devil's Advocates. Rock and roll political commentary in a top 40 world.
Welcome back to the Devil's Advocates Radio Show, TGIF to us all. Dominic, I was quite excited when I saw you had booked Bill Press. He's one of our favorite guests around here. And I'm glad Bill Press agrees with my booking on the Foxy News.
Come on.
Apparently, I'm appearing with Howie Kurtz. I didn't even know what show they were trying to book me on.
You think you would ask some questions before you said yes, Crudy?
Just yes. Yes. God, yes. You know, so I said yes. I will appear 12:30 Central Time on Sunday during the big lineup. My only great fear, Dom, is Saturday, as you well know, my birthday. And I have a partying broadcast event from the Funk's Pub in Fitchburg. Our buddy Kirk Bangstead doing the the inoculation emancipation party. Lots of live bands, some fine Minocqua Brewing Company beer will be served there, Dom. And then I'll go on to my own party up at the Camper in Lodi, rural Wisconsin, 30, 40 minutes out of town here. And I was going to drive back Sunday for my appearance, have to go to a local TV studio. You know, they'll satellite me into the Foxy News. And then I realized I'm going to be quite hungover. You know, and for all I know, I could still be legally drunk.
So you take the car, man.
Oh, yes.
What did I tell you? What did I tell you, Crudy? How could you said no at first?
I had never been offered a car service. I'd only once prior had I appeared on the Foxy News. My only other national appearance, Tom, C-SPAN, did that one from the studio here. And I volunteered. I'd do it right here in front of the Devil Radio banner. I was ready to do it in my home studio, buddy. You know, just a little computer camera, that sort of stuff. Fancy, you were...
I was just saying, I've been offered car service myself. Always take the car service.
Yes.
It absolves you of all time responsibility. You can space out. You can do whatever. I got car service once from a gold mine in the middle of Nevada all the way to Reno. That was awesome.
They have booze in the car?
Yeah, it was the director that ordered it. So all of us got completely, none of us remember the entire ride back. It was awesome.
You got ship-faced.
Well, Cody, make sure the cards make sure the car service brings you back too, right? I mean, it's not just the one-way ride, is it?
I'd almost be okay because I'd be closer to home after the errands. But then I'm gonna need someone to bring my car back. And you know, my wife's gonna drive separately. I feel quite confident. So, you know, it'd be problematic.
All right, let's talk about this.
New plan quickly. I'm gonna get real drunk on Saturday. I'm going to wake up. I'm going to smoke a little something just to get my eyes open, drink a couple Bloody Marys, take the car service over to the Foxy News appearance, and then I'm going to take the car service back and probably take a nap on Sunday afternoon. That's the plan. What a fine plan. I like
it. Are you not concerned whatsoever? I mean, given the news and what we know is going on over there, aren't you concerned about catching foxitis?
Well, it'll be a short appearance. They probably won't let me talk for.
Hey, it doesn't take long to catch foxitis, man. I mean, apparently you can get it if you stay around too long. I mean, I think it depends on the person. But aren't you then, Crudy, adding legitimacy to Fox News? We had a conversation the other day about how the Dems shouldn't even engage with the Republicans anymore. The insurrectionist Republicans, if the Dems engage, they pass some quote-unquote bipartisan legislation. Well, then the American people are going to be concerned. They're going to have the impression that the Republicans are a governing party. And you didn't want to give people the wrong impression. And you said the Dems shouldn't do that. Well, Crudy, I say to you, you should not go on Fox News. You give them an air of legitimacy, and you may catch the foxitis.
You just have Fox News envy because they didn't invite you.
No, they've never asked me. I wonder why that is.
The long hair, I suspect. And the bad attitude. And the inability really to show up for, media hits on time.
I'm here at 2:00 almost every Monday through Friday.
Other than that, you're solid as a rock.
Other than that, I'm solid. Come on, man. No concerns at all to perpetuate Trump rioters are blaming Fox News for them getting riled up and going and starting an insurrection. You're going to go on that channel?
Yes, I am. Someone's got to take the truth to Fox News. I will weld the truth as my weapon.
Ron Johnson, maybe the blood will be on somebody else's hands then, sir.
Come on, man.
I'm just saying, man.
Okay, I admit it. I'm a media whore.
Yes.
I'm just going for the broader media exposure. And if you want to watch me, again, 12:30 with Howie Kurtz on Fox News Sunday. Come on, man. You'd go if they invited you ever. C-SPAN, MSNBC.
Maybe if it came to me.
Black Entertainment Television.
I mean, Fox News, dude. Would you go on OAN or Newsmax or Alex Jones? Would you go on InfoWars, dude?
You mean again? No. I would probably have greater qualm because, I wouldn't want to perceive the fact that I was punching down.
Yeah, but InfoWars has, millions of followers, right? There might be more people on InfoWars than watching Fox News on a Saturday at 12:30 in the middle of summer in the afternoon.
Well,
I'm just saying.
I feared there would be.
Okay, so would you, if Alex Jones wanted to have a debate, would you take Alex Jones? No? How about Dan Bongino?
No. Dan Bongino, yes, probably. He hasn't earned his bad reputation yet. He'll get there. Eventually, he'll be an untouchable like we are, Dom. But no, not yet. I would probably go on any whitey righty talk radio product, at least that I'm familiar with. But I wouldn't want to zoom in. I've got to have the equal opportunity when they start stepping on my audio, Dom. I got to be able to shout it out.
So Alex Jones, no. Fox News, yes. And what's the breakdown? How do you distinguish between the two?
Well, one has Alex Jones and the other has no Alex Jones.
Okay, so what is it about Alex Jones? Is it about his lies and in the way he presents things, or any better than the way Fox News does their broadcast?
Oh man, I'm going on after Chris Wallace. That's the way I'm looking at it. Chris Wallace, then Crudy on Fox News Sunday. 844. Who cares what you think, Sylvia? You're not part of the club.
I guess not.
I think in this particular instance, you should react like Trump does. If they ask you something that's completely off the wall, say stupid question. Next. Why not?
You know what they've told me, one topic for sure, the border crisis. I'm like, what border crisis?
Well, you haven't visited it. That's why you don't care.
You just tell them I can't answer because I haven't been down there. I don't know what you're talking about. Next question, please.
And the second topic, TBD, to be determined.
Oh, my favorite band.
And when people come on this show, we've got guests. We got lots of guests going to the Jade Monkey next Tuesday. And as I was talking with some of their campaign staffs and, internal staffers, some of the electeds, oh, what do you want to talk about? I'm like, that's next Tuesday. I have no idea. We don't prepare for what we're talking about today until, we're ready to talk about it. How would I anticipate what could come up on the radar between now and Tuesday?
That's a long time away in the news cycle, sure.
Presumably, Dom, as a media whore who's appearing on Fox News this weekend, I'm just going to have to be flexible and roll with it. Clever in all circumstances, always truthful, sort of good looking, but
and wear protection so you don't get the foxitis.
And Bill says wear makeup. You don't want to be all shiny on the fox.
Well, and I'm assuming you're not going to wear a hat, so you're going to need lots of makeup on that head of yours, man. I'm just saying, you might want to get like 2 batches.
You know what could happen? Saturday, I'll be partying outside in the sun all day. I'll be nice and red and sunburned.
That's not a good look, man. I'm just saying.
Little makeup on some sunburn all smeared around on my big bald melon.
A little hangover. You get a little sweats going on. That'll be hot.
I'll look like Nixon in a presidential debate. 844-96. There will be some booze sweating out of my system. That for sure. I mean, I will be as hungover. If there's one day a year when it's a pretty good bet, I'm going to get drunk. It's when my birthday every 7 years falls on a Saturday. And, we know we've got a party event and I've got my own party and I got to get up and, catch the bus to Fox News Sunday morning. Oh, it's going to be trouble. Jeannie from Eau Claire. What do you think, Jeannie? Did I make the right choice?
I think.
Am I a media whore for going on Fox News?
Yes.
I think you need to wear a studly suit because you look studly in your suits because I've seen you guys when you were covering, I think, the Democrats. It was a few years ago when I saw you guys.
They're slimming for me. They make me look skinny.
You guys were all dolled up. You both looked really like handsome stud muffins. So I really think that you really need to wear a suit. And you really need to have your wits about you so they don't pull you into anything.
That's going to be a problem, Jeannie. I'm not going to be very witty that morning. Little hungover, little slow.
But aren't you a little concerned about that? I mean, knowing that you've taken on this obligation to go on the nasty ass Fox News and help them perpetuate whatever propaganda they're pushing out there regarding the border, which you haven't been to, so you know nothing about. Aren't you concerned that you're going to, come off, making the devil's advocate look bad?
Yes.
Jeannie, you share that concern?
Yeah, I do.
Are you guys serious? Do you think Crudy would let down the devil's advocates? Have I ever let you down up until now, Jeannie?
Absolutely not. But when you're teasing about it, it gets me a little concerned. I mean.
Well, Jeannie, I'd like to point out, I am a responsible adult who can handle a Fox News appearance on a massive hangover, maybe a little fuzzy from the wake and the bake and a couple of Bloody Marys, a couple of Visine drops in the eyes. I'll be fine.
That puts you right on the level, though.
Little hair of the dog, Jeannie. I'll be fine.
He's a professional, Gene.
I've been watching.
Yeah, tune me in.
He'll be tuned up if you tune him
really
in.
bad, and then I never said anything about it.
Well, good luck, Crudy. And wear a suit. You look handsome in one. Goodbye.
Well,
Bye, Jenny. Thank you. Yeah, Crudy, wear a suit, man. Don't be wearing a polo shirt, man. You know, get up there, man. Dress like the Republicans. That's what all the criminals wear, suits. You know, Bill Barr, Donald Trump. I mean,
you want me to look like Tom DeLay in a mugshot? 844-967-2789. Andy from Beaver Dam. Should I stay or should I go on Fox News, Andy?
Hey, Andy.
Mark, man, you're the shining star of progressivism in the Midwest. So no, don't be fearless. You know. I thought for a minute, oh my God, Chris Wallace.
I'll be too big to be scared, Andy.
Right. Well, yeah, you're turning 51 tomorrow. I mean, holy smoke! You know that's a lot to handle in one weekend. You know, it's crazy, but you'll do just fine. Like Jeannie says, put on a suit and look like represent yourself in there.
I cannot do any worse than Devin Nunes and any of his numerous Foxy appearances or Scott Walker. I mean, other than having like a wandery eye that day, I couldn't do any worse than Wanker.
No. I remember when about 5 or 6 years ago, I never knew what you guys looked like, and all of a sudden you're on Mike Goucher over in Milwaukee. Remember that?
Oh yeah, we've been on that show a couple times.
Yeah, what an unlikely pair. There's Dom over here with his long hair, and Crudy is, he's kind of like losing a little bit, but you spoke well for yourself.
Losing it a little bit? What do you mean I was losing it?
Come on, we got to be accurate, Andy. He's lost almost all of it.
Andy, let's please describe me as the good-looking one.
Well, you were the clean cut guy, I guess, but I don't know. I pick on poor Dominic too much about his hair. I mean, come on. He's going to be 50 next week. So what the hell,
Time for a haircut, you'd think.
Oh, come on. I grow it, Andy, because Crudy can't. I do it for him. Thanks for the call, man.
He's like Samson. His power, his cleverness comes from his hair. If you were a bald man, I don't even think I could be your friend.
See? That's how much I love you, man.
Come back with us. More Devil's Advocates on the other side.
Should I stay or should I go?
You take drugs, Danny?
Stupid question.
Fat, drunk, and stupid is no way to go through life, sir.
I say that you're a terrible reporter.
He looks like some disheveled drunk that wandered onto the political stage.
You are the enemy of the people.
Today's singing can help you remember things. So here's some tips for parents out there during these tough times.
Number 1.
Make sure your kids wash their hands for 20 seconds after they've coughed or sneezed or been outside.
2.
Virtual play dates, social and physical distancing can help save lives.
3.
Tell them they're safe and show your love and pride. Yes, we'll get through this together. Find out more at coronavirus.gov. A message from the CDC and the Ad Council.
President Biden's American Jobs Plan would invest in clean energy jobs, move the country towards clean power, and create millions of good-paying jobs for families like yours. It's the most progressive plan to create American jobs in decades. Members of Congress need to hear that this plan would help you and your family. Join Move On's fight to help working families. Text ACT to 668-366 to join Move On. Message and data rates may apply. Paid for by MoveOn.org Civic Action.
Hi, this is Dom from the Devil's Advocates inviting you to join us on Patreon.com. Patreon allows for our audience to access exclusive programming not available anywhere else and gives you the ability to directly support the greatest radio show ever. History's patrons have supported the works of Michelangelo, Leonardo da Vinci, Monet, and now with your support, the Devil's Advocates. So please go to Patreon.com and search the Devil's Advocates to pick your subscription. That's Patreon.com and the Devil's Advocates, the greatest radio show ever.
I'm not down for voter suppression in my state.
No, right. This. It's got to be easy. It was great to have these options. We should have these options. We should have days off for people to go vote. We should expand the availability, the ease of our own citizens in this country to participate in self-governance. Republicans, why are you so opposed to that?
Because they lose those elections.
Listen to Devil's Advocates weekdays from 2 to 5 p.m.
Ass, grass, or cash. Nobody rides for free. Dom and Crute are the Devil's Advocates.
And we are back. Thank you for listening to the Devil's Advocates radio show. Phone lines are open at 844-967-2789. Is Crudy buying in or is he selling out going over to Fox News?
I'd like to think selling out, but they're not paying me for the appearance, Dom. More of a media slut than a media whore, I guess.
At least the whores get paid, Crudy.
844-967-2789. How will I ever become a Foxy News contributor if I don't start with, a couple of guest appearances?
I guess you got to start somewhere.
Come on, man. Even Charlie Sykes has got a regular gig on MSNBC.
Well, I'd rather you go on MSNBC. I mean, they're not the ones that are inciting, insurrectionist bastards to riot at the Capitol. That'd be Fox News.
When MSNBC invites me, I'll probably be there. As long as they send a car for me. Now I've got standards, Tom. 844-967-2789. And, I'm way too big time for C-SPAN again. Robert from Columbia Heights. Welcome, Robert. What do you got for us?
Hey, Robert.
Hi, Devils. I took your advice and I did a search for Stormy Daniels, but I think I made a mistake. I searched for Stormy Daniels and Donald Trump.
Oh, that's not a pretty picture.
Every single one.
Yeah, you don't want to see the naked pictures of her and Trump, Robert. I strongly suspect.
And to ingratiate yourself to Fox News, you could start talking about Stormy with them.
Stormy. Yeah, I could bring that up. Any other hot buttons you think I could drop on, Foxy News? Should I just advocate for open borders forevermore?
Well, I used to listen to Barbara Carlson when she was on the radio here in the Twin Cities, and her son, who's on Fox News, I can't even think of his name. I don't want to. You could bash him.
Tucker rhymes with sucker?
Tucker.
Yeah.
Tucker.
Rhymes with a few other words I can't say on the radio.
Yes, he does.
But maybe Fox News? That's a cable channel, right? That's not FCC compliant, are they?
Do you think I can swear on Fox News, Robert?
They might bleep you.
What are they going to do? Disinvite me mid-interview?
You're crude. You got to see if there's a delay. That's a very important question.
They're not FCC regulated, Robert. They're on the cable dial.
Well, then I would say give it a try. See what happens.
What the hell, right? What the beep, 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 beep. We'll see. Robert, thank you for your call.
We'll see.
Robert, out there doing a little research on behalf of you. Yes, because you gentlemen encouraged me to.
Dominic!
I've Googled the Stormy Daniels.
Did you blame me for something like that once, Crudy?
Well, I did. I did, Dom, because it was all your fault. I never came to the independent thought to go do a porn research project until you gave me a site to aim at. 844-967-2789. Let's not tell the kids today. They know. LA Tom, you're next. Welcome. What do you got for us, Tom?
Hey, Tom.
Hey, guys. First off, we the people are the government, and we must never forget that. Second, Crudy, happy birthday.
Thanks, brother.
And Dom, happy birthday to you as well. I'm actually going to spend some time with your daughter tomorrow.
Thanks, man.
So they will give you a shout for your birthday.
Oh, you're spending time with my daughter. I'm like, what are you doing with Izzy?
No, your daughter, Crudy. She lives in LA.
Can you encourage her to give her, stepdad a phone call on his birthday?
Say that again?
Tell Kelsey to call home. She calls her mom quite a bit, but I only get called when she's signing a contract or a lease. Then when she needs some fiduciary advice, then I get a phone call. Otherwise, nada.
Maybe you'll get a call from both of us.
Well, that'd be acceptable.
Absolutely. Hey, by the way, why don't you say on Fox News, ask them, say, are they in favor of getting money out of politics or not? Just throw that one out.
I'm not sure that they allow the panelists to ask the questions, Tom, but I'll certainly keep that.
Hey, once your mic's on, you can say whatever the hell you want, Crudy. That's the beautiful thing about it. Tom, do you think you should go? Are you encouraging Crudy to go down this road and potentially could, get Foxitis?
Well, I know I won't be watching it. I haven't watched that channel in 30 years. So
come on, Tom,
years,
you could VCR it and just watch the Crudy appearance.
No, I was watching on Twitter afterwards or something like that. But I hope you're not just going to be a scared guy with them. I hope you're going to be make yourself a little bit of publicity there, Crudy.
Well, the last time they invited me, Tom, it's been a number of years, like 4. But the last time I was on a radio panel, Joe Walsh, former congressman and righty whitey talker, was my foil for the day. And we were talking about the Trump tax cuts. And I made Joe Walsh stutter and damn near you-know-what himself on national television. So I felt pretty proud of that, Tom.
Well, that's good. Make sure you say domandcroot.com or DARN or Devil Radio so you get your little promotion out there, I would say. And maybe get some more viewers or more listeners that way. And then also, like I said, ask them. You guys we got For the People Act. Since we the people are the government, we got For the People Act. And are you in favor or not in favor of voting for everybody or to get money out of politics?
Well, Tom, I'm pretty sure Crazy Lenny will throw me a little bone if I mention e-bikes on Fox News.
I'll do that. That's okay.
Okay.
This response brought to you by Crazy Lenny's e-bikes. Thanks for the call, Tom.
I'm riding my e-bike from Crazy Lenny e-bike down to the Fox station, I guess.
Well, next time, have them send a car, Tom. 844-967-2789. At least one more caller this hour. Mark from the SAC. Welcome back, Mark. What do you got?
Hey, Mark.
Hey guys, well, happy birthday to you both.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
I could lend you my Tasmanian devil tie, but I just need to get it back because that's the tie I plan to get buried in. That you could wear that on the air. That with the Taz staring out at your hosts there. That, but I mean that I was going to be serious and that quote the Fourth Amendment to the to all our Republican trolls that listen out there to the show that. Tell them why they think it's okay to be searching and seizing people's personal contacts without going through the the whole real justice process. But
well, they got a subpoena, Mark, so it must have been legit, right?
But on a less serious note, Jim Steineke or Stinky or whatever his name is, that as for the D-bag or the end of the alimentary canal for his behavior and not not allowing that what he's blocked.
Sorry, Mark, gotta cut you short, baby. Don't you sign those papers tonight? See you on Fox News Sunday, Minneapolis. The rest of you stick around. More Devils.
I'm kind of a big deal. People know me.
When it comes to tax reform, he better cut taxes for everybody, and I think that's what he'll do.
I had to beat off all this stuff.
Don't act like you're not impressed.
Sinner.
Hi, this is Brad from Zero Res. If you need someone to help with your carpet cleaning, business or residence, please give us a call. We have the best system available and an amazing team of friendly technicians. Call us at 848-9000 or schedule online at zeroresmadison.com.
This is Dom from the Devil's Advocates, inviting all our patrons to join us for an exclusive live broadcast at one of Hawk's finer neighborhood bars, the Jade Monkey Cocktail Lounge, located at 217 Cottage Grove Road in Madison on Tuesday, June 15th. Seating is limited, so please go to patreon.com, search for the Devil's Advocates, the greatest radio show ever, and sign up to be a patron. Join us June 15th, 2 to 5 p.m. at the Jade Monkey in Madison for a live broadcast, then stick around for the political party open to the public 5 to 7 p.m. See you then.
Saturday morning at 9 a.m., tune in for Ask the Builder and hear about projects that can be done to improve your space. Join me, Naomi Croft, and members of our team at Bachman Construction as we take calls from the community and share our family's 3 generations of experience.
Ask the Builder is Saturdays at 9 a.m.
You are listening to WTTN Columbus, W224EG Madison, always streaming at doubleradio927.com.
AP News. I'm Ed Donahue. Democrats are calling it shocking and an abuse of power. The Justice Department's Inspector General is investigating revelations former President Trump's administration secretly seized phone data from at least 2 House Democrats as part of an aggressive leaks probe. Here's the AP's Mary Claire Jelinek.
This is very, very rare. It is not common at all for the Justice Department to be seizing data privately and secretly without the members' knowledge of members of Congress. And that obviously raises all sorts of questions about the branches of government and potentially a president and his Justice Department spying on members of Congress and what they've done.
House Intelligence Committee Chair Adam Schiff and California Democrat Eric Swalwell say Apple notified them last month their metadata had been subpoenaed and turned over to the Justice Department in 2018 as their committee was investigating Donald Trump's ties to Russia. Attorney General Merrick Garland did not talk about that case today, but he did say the department will scrutinize a wave of new laws in Republican-controlled states that tighten voting rules.
Many of the changes are not even calibrated to address the kinds of voter fraud that are alleged as their justification.
Garland says he will double staffing within the department's Civil Rights Division and said the department would send guidance to states about election-related activities. The AP won 2 Pulitzer Prizes in photography for coverage of the racial injustice protest and the coronavirus's toll on the elderly. The New York Times received the Public Service Award for its reporting on the pandemic, a big milestone in the coronavirus fight.
Chicago is the largest big city in the country that's fully reopened.
Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot made the announcement. It means an end to a requirement that people in Chicago wear face masks in most indoor places and lifting capacity limits. Stocks finished higher, the Dow up 13 points. This is AP News.
Is your bathroom looking old and worn out? Want to update it, but you don't know where to start? Then let BCI Bath & Shower show you how to turn that old bath into an aisle of beauty and functionality. Our residential bathroom solutions provide the best value on the market, and our customer service is second to none. Our cost-effective BCI Bath & Shower family of products has what you need.
Remodeling our bathroom was a big decision for us.
They didn't make a mess out of our house at all. And at the end of the day, we had a beautiful new bathroom. And it was a great experience the whole way through.
We have the best monthly payment programs in the industry, with payments as low as $68 per month or no interest, no payments for 18 months. That's right. Get the bathroom of your dreams now and pay for it in 2021. Call 1-800-303-2352 for a free no-obligation price quote. That's 1-800-303-2352. When you want quality bathroom products at a great price, it's got to be BCI Bath & Shower. That's 1-800-303-2352.
Hey folks, Patrick here from Pegasus Games, here to remind you that we're open for all your at-home gaming needs, both online at pegasusgames.com or in-store from noon to 6, with extended hours on Saturday and Sunday morning from 10 a.m. to noon for high-risk customers. From our new line of puzzles to pass the time, to the perfect board game to reconnect with family and friends. Walk-ins welcome or curbside pickup available over the phone or online at pegasusgames.com. Pegasus Games, home to games you never outgrow.
Hello, I'm Sue Peck with Evolution Financial. Have you found yourself at that tipping point where you realize your finances have become just a bit too complicated? Or maybe you have so much on your plate and you'd love to focus on and support the passions that are most important to you. If you're looking for a local, independent, fee-only fiduciary financial advisor, contact me, Sue Peck, CFP Professional with Evolution Financial. Search online for Evolution Financial Madison.
Evolution Financial is a registered investment advisor with the state of Wisconsin.
Hey there, my name is Kirk Bankstad, and I own the Minocqua Brewing Company. I teamed up with Kristen Bry, the hilarious creator of As Goes Wisconsin, and Pat Kreitlow, the managing director of Up North News, to create the Up North podcast. We're going to talk about Wisconsin news and culture through the eyes of northern Wisconsinites, but also through our progressive viewpoints in the heart of one of the reddest parts of our state. We'll be doing our show live at Devil Radio 92.7 on Wednesday nights at 7, and you can check the podcast out at upnorthpodcast.com.
Won't you let me die?
Al Bachman from Bachman Construction here. A lot of us are spending more and more time at home these days. Maybe you're considering that addition you've been thinking about for the past few years, or maybe you're looking for suggestions on how to improve your space. Join me every Saturday morning at 9 a.m. for my show, Ask the Builder. I share my stories of some of the trickier improvement projects I have undertaken and will be taking your calls.
Ask the Builder airs Saturdays at 9 on Devil Radio.
For Devil Radio, 92.7 FM and WTTN 1580 AM, I'm Luke Mathers with your headlines for Friday, June 11th. This morning, the Wisconsin Supreme Court struck down a Dane County public health order from last August, siding with private schools in preventing the county from closing all schools to in-person learning to limit the spread of COVID-19 amid the height of the pandemic. The school year is essentially over, and the court stayed the order in September, allowing private schools in the county to conduct in-person classes. However, the decision will hinder the county's ability to take measures against a resurgence of COVID-19 or other future pandemics. On Thursday, the Wisconsin Elections Commission agreed to send out postcards to over 100,000 voters to update their voter registration due to the belief the voters may have recently moved. Devil Radio 92.7's own Michael Crute will appear this weekend on Fox News Sunday at 12:30 p.m. Tune in. You're listening to Devil Radio.
Warning, you are about to listen to the greatest radio show ever. And due to contractual obligations and to shield our airwaves corporate licensees from any semblance of liability, responsibility, and gullibility, we must tell you the views represented on this show are not necessarily those of this station or its management. This radio show contains differing points of view on current political topics, and due to the nature of its contents, it should be heard by everyone. Thank you for listening. Now live from the heart of liberal Wisconsin, where the political party is just beginning, welcome to the Devil's Advocate Show. Best friends proving it's never personal, only politics.
Please allow me to introduce myself.
Now here are your hosts, Dom and Crute.
Welcome back to the Devil's Advocates Radio Show. Dominic, we are sliding into a glorious Friday, 4 o'clock. Happier happy hour. And I'm happy I was able to join you right from the top. You know, I was very busy with my Fox News handler setting schedules for Sunday's big appearance. I'll be on the Foxy News with Mike Emanuel Sunday, not Howie Kurtz, my bad. Sunday, 1 o'clock Eastern time. Actually, it'll be 1:42 Eastern, 12:42 Central. Please make a note of it.
And are they sending you the car?
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
I got a car coming.
Up to Lodi from Madison.
Yeah, up to the campground. I told him I'd meet him at the front gate. I wouldn't make him come find my campsite. But,
Yeah, really?
I'm going to meet him
Why?
at the front gate.
Did you tell them 2 mason jars full of green M&Ms, 1 peanut, 1 plain?
No, but I said a little cushion in the back would be greatly appreciated. No, man, you know, looking forward to it. Got something to do this weekend. Other than party for my birthday, you know, Dom, you're going to be partying for your birthday. You share Flag Day Monday, a birthday with Donald J. Trump. How are you grifting your friends and family for your birthday this year,
You know,
Dom?
everybody, I'm going to send out an email, and you're going to have an option to send me some money on my birthday, but you'll get the email today, so it won't be my birthday. You send me money today, and then there'll be a little button, a little toggle button that I'll put for on that you'll send me another more money on my actual birthday. Then we'll have another little button that you'll have to turn off if you don't want to do monthly recurring. But of course, why wouldn't you do monthly recurring? It's my birthday.
Well, Dominic, the bar tab's monthly and recurring.
These
You
things,
know,
yes.
You're unaware, Dom, but I have been the recipient of a very generous gift from one of our audience members. Sue and John from Middleton brought me a little something at the studio, and they brought you a very similar gift, I suspect, Dom. First and foremost, from the Minocqua Brewing Company, a 6er of the Biden beer.
Nice.
Yes, that always is.
Now, what kind of beer is the Biden beer there, Crudy?
An inoffensive and not bitter Kolsch.
Ooh, yummy.
5% alcohol by volume. I haven't put her in the fridge yet.
Good summer beer right there.
I'll find out a little bit later, probably on my birthday, Dom. I'm going to drink at least 4 to 6 of those before I go on Fox News. And then also, I got a nice little card. I can't verify that Sue and John gave you precisely the same card, but it says, "Oh, wow, like happy birthday, man." And it's like, you know, the grass with like a cartoon dandelion in the grass. And then inside the card, Dom, it says, thought you'd like a little weed on your birthday. And then they left me a little check. And it wasn't made out to cash, but it was made out to Crudy. And then a little personal note from John and Sue. Again, the card reads, thought you'd like a little weed on your birthday. And the card reads, or a lot. And they gave you a little cash.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah,
Very nice.
I suspect yours is just a card with no cash. That's I suspect, you're,
You know, the fact that people
no cash
even
for you.
take the time to think about me on my special day, I appreciate it no matter what.
Well, you're turning senior citizen.
I'm
on
waiting for
Monday,
my.
Tom.
Actually, I think I may have received the AARP mailing.
The welcome packet.
I saw something. I didn't open it because I'm a very busy guy, so I'll have to get back to you on that.
I can tell you, once you're on the team, Tom, you get lots and lots of solicitations. It's like being part of the Trump email family.
Crudy going on Fox News. We'll take some more callers, 844-967-2789. So I jumped on the Foxy News website to see what kind of Foxitis Crudy's in
what
store
should I
for.
expect when I get over there, Dom?
U.S. Senator Ron Johnson has been suspended from uploading videos to YouTube for 7 days, and a video of a speech talking about early treatments of COVID-19 removed by the video sharing giant.
Dominic, I have also read this Foxy News article because who doesn't read every article on the Fox News site? You know, he's calling this what? An abridgment of his First Amendment rights. How can the government censor him like this?
Obviously, if that's the case, he doesn't quite understand, like many Republicans for some reason, how the First Amendment really works. Here's what he did say, though, from FoxNews.com, Crudy's new buddies. Ron Johnson, big tech and mainstream media believe they are smarter than medical doctors who have devoted their lives to science and use their skills to save lives, Johnson said. Oh, like Anthony Fauci? I continue. They have decided there is only one medical viewpoint allowed, and it is the viewpoint dictated by government agencies. How many lives will be lost as a result? How many lives could have been saved with the free exchange of medical ideas? You know, like a medical idea, like, you know, injecting, bleach into your system, something like that. Was that an exchange of medical ideas, Ron?
Well, what about putting a disinfecting light up one's arse, Dom? That's an exchange of medical ideas of sort. They might be bad ideas, but they're ideas.
Well, it is an idea. Johnson said, government-sanctioned censorship of ideas and speech should concern us all.
It should, but that's not what this is it, Dom?
Not even close. YouTube, Senator Ron Johnson, is not the government. You see, you work for the people in government. See, that's what government is. A spokesperson for YouTube told Fox News the website took down the video because it violated its COVID-19 medical information policies. Quote, we removed the video in accordance with our COVID-19 medical misinformation policies, which don't allow content that encourages people to use hydroxychloroquine or ivermectin to treat or prevent the virus, the spokesperson said. YouTube doesn't allow content that spreads medical misinformation that contradicts local health authorities or the World Health Organization's medical information about COVID-19. The policy reads, specifically, the company will remove content promoting the use of those drugs unless there's enough countervailing context, a YouTube blog post explained. So where Ron Johnson went to go say these asinine things, this quote, like government-sanctioned censorship of ideas and speech should concern us, when it's actually YouTube? Show? No, he went on the Foxy News, Crudy. That's where you're going to go. You and Ron Johnson are very similar.
Only in our tax rates.
Thank you, Ron Johnson. He did it for you, Crudy.
844-967-2789. Kuchka tweeting at me, specifically at the broader broadcast pairing. Kuchka said something like, with the whole hangover thing and perhaps the opportunity to wake and bake and drink some bloodies before I go on Fox News, Kuchka perceives these as prior excuses for a bad performance.
You're already qualifying your performance, crew. Listen, I just got to say, look at Rudy Giuliani, right? Don't do that. Right. I think Rudy tips a few before he goes out there as well. I'd suggest, don't do the Rudy. Don't put the hair dye in. Don't do the, great looking hair thing.
Dye? What hair do I have to dye? All my hair already dyed in unnatural premature death.
ED.
Hey, Crudy, Chuckster from Racine recommends, possibly wearing a monocle or a beret or like one of those John 3:16 rainbow wigs.
Yeah.
The only one I feel quite confident that will see my appearance on the Foxy News Sunday, our troll, George. He'll be watching. 844. See on the Fox News, George, you troll. 844-967-2789. Tom from Madison. What's up, Tom?
Hey, Tom.
Hey, congratulations on the Fox News thing. That's really awesome. You
nearly as prestigious as C-SPAN.
Well, you deserve it. I just think, if anybody deserves it, you do. It brings me back to watching Jon Stewart and Chris Wallace. That was one of the best Fox News interviews I've ever seen. It was absolutely incredible. And also a big shout out to Dom, whose Monet got me inspired to go to the Art Institute in Chicago yesterday. Really appreciate it.
I saw you.
My pleasure, Tom.
You tagged us, Tom. You took a full-size Monet picture.
You can't have too much Monet, I think. That's just, it's like the old rock tune, Monet. It's absolutely incredible.
Well, Tom, you got to have patrons, to perform the art that we do. And we appreciate all of ours and always appreciate you, Tom.
Oh, man. Thanks a lot. Good luck, Rudy.
Thanks,
luck, Tom.
man.
Happy birthday, guys.
Thanks, man.
Appreciate it. We will certainly celebrate I almost said the nuptials. We're not getting married, right?
No.
We're celebrating another rotation around the sun, right? It's the earth that rotates, because you ask a few Republicans, they're not quite sure which way it works.
Well, heliocentric, geocentric, I'm not clear, but if we could alter the moon or the sun, would that help with, climate change, Louis Gohmert?
Well, that would be my birthday wish, Dom, that we solved climate change through rerouting the orbit of the moon.
Would you get back to me on that, Brian? We'll work on that.
Yeah, I'm going to get on that.
Okay.
What I think will happen is we'll cut off a slice of it, and then we'll melt it down for a big fondue.
Excellent.
It's made of cheese, right?
Yeah, well, of course. Yeah.
The
Cheddar.
Rebels Advocates birthday party edition. Tom going into a big rock party weekend. Gonna have a good time. Going on to Foxy News. Gonna party my ass off at Funk's Pub tomorrow. A inoculation emancipation event. Our friend Kirk Bankstead from the Minocqua Brewing Company. I bet they'll be serving some Biden beers there.
Oh, you know
and
it.
Also the Tony Evers Pale Ale. I'm not making any guarantees or promises, Dan, but I'm still scheming for Tuesday's big event at the Jade Monkey. Let's just say there might be some pale ale in our future. We'll see.
We'll see.
Come back with us. More of your phone calls. It's Friday. We air the grievances. Got a friend coming soon. He's crazy. Ebike Lenny. But your phone calls could be next. 844-967-2789.
Oh, it looks good on you, though.
Hi, this is Brad from Zero Res. If you need someone to help with your carpet cleaning, business or residence, please give us a call. We have the best system available and an amazing team of friendly technicians. Call us at 848-9000 or schedule online at zeroresmadison.com.
Get that an e-bike for Father's Day. Crazy Lenny has over 150 different e-bikes to choose from. The largest selection in the entire USA.
We have mountain e-bikes for $1,500, fat tire e-bikes with the throttle for $1,100, commuter e-bikes for $980.
Get Dad an e-bike gift certificate so Dad selects the bike he wants and the size he wants.
Gift certificates are discounted, so get a $300 certificate for Dad. You pay only $240.
Get Dad an e-bike gift certificate at Crazy Lenny's e-bikes.
President Biden's American Jobs Plan would invest in clean energy jobs, move the country towards clean power, and create millions of good-paying jobs for families like yours. It's the most progressive plan to create American jobs in decades. Members of Congress need to hear that this plan would help you and your family. Join Move On's fight to help working families. Text ACT to 668-366 to join Move On. Message and data rates may apply. Paid for by MoveOn.org Civic Action.
My name is Rocker, and this is my vodka. Rocker Vodka is distilled right here in Madison, made from corn and gluten-free. Find Rocker Vodka at Woodman's, Festival Foods, Trixie's Liquor, Star Liquor, Steve's Liquor, Willie Street Co-op, Total Wine, Vic Pierce, Miller's Market, Cambridge Cooler. Find more at rockervodka.com. It's yummy. Must be 21. Please drink responsibly.
Saturday morning at 9 a.m., tune in for Ask the Builder and hear about projects that can be done to improve your space. Join me, Naomi Croft, and members of our team at Bachman Construction as we take calls from the community and share our family's 3 generations of experience.
Ask the Builder is Saturdays at 9 a.m. This is the radio station you were looking for. Devil Radio 92.7. It surrounds us. It penetrates us. It binds the world together.
Help me, Devil Radio. You're my only hope.
Grass-fed, locally raised, 100% organic. Dom and Crute are the Devil's Advocates.
And we are back from the 420 break. Thank you so much for listening to the Devil's Advocates radio show. Phone lines are open, going back to them in just a moment at 844-967-2789. Crudy, on the Ron Johnson discussion, this one popped up. I want to throw this one out there. We have a little sound I want to share for the people and get your opinions on it. Bill Glauber from the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel reporting, Ron Johnson called Joe Biden a liberal, progressive, socialist Marxist. Apparently, Johnson was asked about recent Biden administration moves to block the Keystone Pipeline, waive sanctions on the company behind Russia's Nord Stream 2 gas pipeline, and drop a Trump administration order targeting TikTok. Brian, I believe we have some sound of this exchange, if you would please. Cut number 1.
Why is he granting these waivers to countries that are not particularly friendly? They're hostile towards us, and meanwhile taking away American jobs simultaneously.
Because he's weak. And don't ask me to get inside the mind of a liberal, progressive, socialist Marxist like President Biden. But what I do know is this is self-inflicted wound.
He's talking to the Hannity, Sean Hannity, a little hoarse these days, Hannity. Apparently the allergies bothering him.
Well, it's the Foxitis. Be careful, Crude. You might want to wear a mask.
That would be funny if I showed up for the Fox News appearance wearing a mask. Sorry, you can't get COVID through the TV, but I could get Foxitis.
Just saying.
You crack yourself up, don't you, Dom?
I am
967.
I'm easily entertained.
789. That is clear. Paul Wisco, how you doing, man?
Hey, Wisco.
Yeah, I'm doing okay. It's kind of cool. You're going to be on the Fox News there. Judy, you're going to be like the gladiator. You're going to be in the ring there.
Are you not entertained?
It's going to be real. It's going to be so cool. I'm looking forward to watching it. And as far as Rojo goes, he's just, I got to think of a word. Pathetic, loser. I don't know. He's just a god-awful person. Hey, we'll see you guys Tuesday. Have a good weekend and good luck on Fox. Gladiator Crudy.
Thanks, Paul. If Joe Biden is a socialist, Marxist, communist bastard, what's that make Ron Johnson?
I'm not clear that you can be a socialist Marxist. I'd have to, dig into the pure definitions of these terms.
You of nuance. Semantics, man. You can't beat Ron with semantics.
Well, come on, if you call someone a tall, short guy, some things just don't make sense. And I'm just saying, there's something maybe to look into there.
That's Dominic. That's tiny. I'm a Catholic Satanist. I don't know what to tell you.
Well, I mean, but you are a Catholic Satanist. That would actually be accurate because Satan is a Catholic god, right? A Christian god. So yes, you could.
I think
you cannot be a Satanist. You cannot be a Satanist without being a Christian. I'm just saying.
You know, they better get the devil radio right on the Chiron. That's my only request of the Foxy News. Maybe some horns.
The only request?
Well, that and car service. 844. You know, they offered the car service. I didn't demand the car service.
Well, next time, now you know.
Now I know. Demand the car service.
You know, last time I was on, I got a car. You gotta help a brother out.
You live next door. I need a car.
I need a hotel room and dinner. You know, I get awfully hungry.
Did you tell him what you wanted the temperature of the car to be set at? It was like 64 degrees. 74, 76 degrees. No.
64. Who do you think I am? Bernie Sanders? Next, I'll be asking for a king-size bed in the hotel room. Do you see that article about Bernie? Someone thought that was newsworthy. Bernie keeps his hotel room at 60 and demands king-size beds. I'm like, I demand a king-size bed. I'm a big dude. Give me a big bed because I'm the king. 844. Jeez. It's good to be king.
You do belong on Fox News, man.
California king, baby. 844-967-2789. Dick from Madison. Welcome back, Dick. What do you got for us?
Hey, Dick.
Happy birthday, guys, to both
Thanks,
of you.
man. Appreciate it.
Hoping the next Madison appearance you can do from the garage. Have you seen William Barr's?
You got to invite us over, Dick.
Well, I have now. William Barr's website and or Facebook page.
I have not.
Bill Barr, twisting the law for crooked presidents since Bush the Elder to Trump. How'd I miss W?
I don't know.
He's got quite a resume, Dick.
Republican.
They brought him in for that. I mean, Dick, they knew Bill Barr would play ball. Bill Barr wrote, as Curdy said, a really, really nice cover letter for his job interview. Basically told Trump he'll do whatever he wants, and he did. And now we are slowly getting bits and pieces of it now that there's a new administration.
And he's the only one smart enough, because he is an attorney, to shut his pie hole and go lay by his bowl. All these other people keep blubbering away, and hopefully they'll all go to prison.
Well, Dick, being an attorney is not equitable with being very bright, at least in my opinion. I met the Eric Cardle, the attorney for the Stop the Steal people. Less than impressive, let's just say. And if Bill Barr is so smart keeping his pie hole shut, why is he out there doing interviews today?
I don't remember.
Denying. You know, he's not that bright.
I mean, come on, Dick. He didn't even know what the word suggested means. Someone ever asked or suggested you launch an investigation into members of Congress? I'm trying to grasp what you mean by the word suggested. That's not a smart man.
I suggest that Bill Barr can kiss my lily white butt and probably shouldn't be taking the hydroxychloroquine, despite the YouTube videos that Ron Johnson's quite fond of. Come back with us. More Devil's Advocates. The happy hour continues. My good friend, crazy Ebike Lenny Manioli. Going to talk e-bikes and other topics. More Devils. We'll be right back.
Do I look like a socialist? Look at my career, my whole career. I am not a socialist.
Don't ask me to get inside the mind of a liberal, progressive, socialist, Marxist.
I beat the socialists. That's how I got elected.
I don't know, but I'm suspicious.
You're a lying dog-faced pony soldier.
Devil Radio, your fix for progressive news talk from Verona to Sun Prairie. Always streaming at darnwi.com.
You're an experienced roofer starting your day at dawn. It's hard work. Are you being paid what you're worth? Do you have a safe job site, healthcare, a pension? The roofers and waterproofers, Local 11 contractors pay a living wage so you can support your family and someday retire with dignity. Local 11 is looking for roofers in the Madison and Janesville area. Change your life. Join Local 11. Call Travis at 608-921-7207 or apply at rooferslocal11.org.
Hi, this is Cody with Go Landscaping. We do full yard installs, retaining walls, and certified dry stone masonry. Let us turn your dream for an outdoor living space into a reality. Go Landscaping is still taking on new commercial and residential lawn care for this summer, or let us bid your snow removal for fall. Find us at golandscapings.com. Again, that's golandscapings.com.
Spying on Congress. I'm Tim McGuire with an AP News Minute. Justice Department Inspector General Michael Horowitz is investigating the department under former President Donald Trump for reportedly seizing phone data from at least 2 House Democrats in a search for leaks amid House Intelligence Committee investigation of Trump's ties to Russia. AP correspondent Mary Claire Jelonic.
It is not common at all for the Justice Department to be seizing data privately and secretly without the members' knowledge of members of Congress. And that obviously raises all sorts of questions about the branches of government and potentially a president and his Justice Department spying on members of Congress.
Senate Democrats want former Attorneys General Bill Barr and Jeff Sessions to testify. A Chicago police officer has been arrested on federal misdemeanor charges for being involved in the assault on the U.S. Capitol. Carol Cheswick texted photos of himself inside the building while wearing a Chicago PD sweatshirt under an open coat. I'm Tim McGuire.
Is your bathroom looking old and worn out? Want to update it, but you don't know where to start? Then let BCI Bath & Shower show you how to turn that old bath into an aisle of beauty and functionality. Our residential bathroom solutions provide the best value on the market, and our customer service is second to none. Our cost-effective BCI Bath & Shower family of products has what you need.
Remodeling our bathroom was a big decision for us.
They didn't make a mess out of our house at all. And at the end of the day, we had a beautiful new bathroom. And it was a great experience the whole way through.
We have the best monthly payment programs in the industry, with payments as low as $68 per month or no interest, no payments for 18 months. That's right. Get the bathroom of your dreams now and pay for it in 2021. Call 1-800-303-2352 for a free no-obligation price quote. That's 1-800-303-2352. When you want quality bathroom products at a great price, it's got to be BCI Bath & Shower. That's 1-800-303-2352.
For Devil Radio, 92.7 FM and WTTN 1580 AM, I'm Luke Mathers with your headlines for Friday, June 11th. The Wisconsin Department of Corrections reported earlier this year that the department is seeing roughly 15% of correctional officer positions vacant across the state, leading to many hours of overtime by corrections officers to staff the state's prisons. Yesterday, the Joint Finance Committee approved $42 million in the upcoming budget for DOC compensation and benefits, an amount lower than both the department and Governor Tony Evers requested. The Republican-backed committee also approved only 28 new corrections positions, down from the 71 new positions Governor Evers requested to address the work shortage in the Department of Corrections. Forecast of partial cloud coverage throughout the day with a chance for an isolated thunderstorm this afternoon, high today of 94 degrees. Variable clouds and wind expected tonight with a chance for scattered thunderstorms and a low of 69 degrees. You're listening to Devil Radio.
The Devil's Advocates, because freedom.
Well, turn it up, man.
Welcome back to the Devil's Advocates Radio Show. We've got a little boogaloo, little dance party going on. Dance up, bro. Dominic, I've been joined here in the broadcast bunker 2.0 by a good friend, a dancing fool. He's crazy. Ebike Lenny Mattioli. How you doing, Lenny? Hold on. Let me turn you on. Hello.
Hey,
I forgot you were here. I got to turn your mic on.
Yeah, well, my size, you should be able to see me.
You're looking svelte. You've lost weight, Lenny.
I have.
That makes one of us.
Hey, Crudy found it.
You got to ride your e-bike more like I do.
Lenny, how often do you ride the e-bike? I know you're a busy guy, a businessman, entrepreneur, but how often do you actually get on the e-bike?
I'd like to ride my bike 5 times a week. Would be a number that would certainly contribute to overall health.
Hey, buddy, don't forget, talk into the tip.
Oh, hello. Can you hear me?
There you go.
Sorry about that.
Right in the tip there, fella.
I was putting my head down like I was riding my e-bike,
Now, Lenny, we've had some glorious weather. That's always got to help business out. We've got a little rain delay this afternoon, so thought we'd sneak you in studio. But coming up, got the big Father's Day sale.
Yes,
It's
we
only
do.
a week away.
That's a week away.
People care very little about the dads, but the dads are important. We should get gifts, should we not, Lenny?
A comedian once told a story about Father's Day. You know, he'd get up in the morning, get to his favorite chair, say, I just can't wait. I'm going to have a nice breakfast. And then the kids are going to bring me presents and it's going to be so great. And of course, by 4:00 in the afternoon, no presents, no great breakfast. He made his own lunch sandwich for lunch. And then finally, one of the kids said, hey, Dad, can you drive me to the mall? He said, so I feel that Father's Day maybe should be canceled.
Would anybody notice?
I'm not sure.
You know what my family's getting me for Father's Day?
What?
Sort of Father's Day birthday combo. Brewers Cubs tickets.
Well, that's a great gift.
That is a great gift.
That's right up there with an e-bike.
Well, nothing tops an e-bike as a gift for Father's Day, Len, but I thought it was a nice thought.
A good way to give Dad a kind of an over-the-top gift is purchase a gift certificate at Crazy Lenny's e-bikes.
You're discounting them, right, Len?
Yeah, we do. So, you could buy any size gift certificate you want, and Dad can use it to pick out the bike he wants, the size he wants, the color he wants, and so on and so on and so on. But if you only buy a gift certificate, say for $300, okay, you pay the gift certificate's worth $300, but you pay $240. Then that would cover most of the price of some e-bikes. You could buy them a $500 gift certificate, and that would cost you $400, etc. So you get a discount, and you get a gift certificate for Dad to buy a new e-bike.
Slow down. This is starting to sound like math on the radio.
We don't do math on the radio, Lenny.
You know what? It's too bad we can't have a chalkboard, and I could, sort of teach the discount.
I got a dry erase board, but that still doesn't work for our radio listeners. That's crazy. E-bike Lenny Matty Oli. Father's Day sale. Father's Day coming soon. You got lots of time to come out and test drive this weekend. Going to be beautiful.
And we've got some really comfortable bikes. We're getting more bikes in. The selection's getting better.
I was in the showroom today. You still got a lot of bikes.
Yeah. We got in. I think this week we probably got in about 50 bikes. I think 46 actually. We've got that bike in now where you can adjust the handlebars in two directions, back and forth and up and down. And then it comes with a really, really, really comfortable seat. It's a gel pack seat with also springs built in.
Now, do they have a easy rider setting, kind of Peter Fonda style?
Nah, but you know what they are? They make it comfortable from top to bottom.
Lenny, when it gets hot as hell like this, other people, not so much me, but other people like to exercise. But, if you can't have a good time because you overheat or you overexert, you quit exercising. And that's sort of the greatness of the e-bike.
Yeah, that's a good reason to come and test ride an e-bike, because if you're riding and you're turning that crank at a real comfortable, easy, not pushing hard on the pedals, it's almost like riding a regular bike with an air conditioner on it, because the wind's blowing by. You can keep your speed up 10, 12, 14 miles an hour without overexerting. E-bikes are just plain fun. You know what? I've been telling our salespeople at some of our meetings, so many customers come in. I've been looking on the internet and I've been researching these things. It's just a bicycle, guys. We sell fun. Try an e-bike. It's fun. If you get it home and within some reasonable time, a couple of weeks even, you wish you'd have got some other one, fine, we'll exchange it.
Well, that does sound like fun.
It is.
Not overly obligated, obviously. Sales are final, but you can come and perhaps exchange your bike if another model might suit your pursuit of fun better.
Right. But the main
pursuit of happiness, it's right in the Constitution,
when you're trying out an e-bike, don't get... No one really wants to buy watts. How many watts? So how many amp hours is that battery? How many amp hours do you want? No one knows the answer.
What's an amp hour? How fast does it go, Lenny? That's what I want to know.
You want to know? All right. Most e-bikes go at 20 miles an hour. The governor built into the product turns the assist off, but some e-bikes called class 3 bikes go all the way to 28 miles per hour before the assist.
How do you turn the governor off?
Yeah.
No, I saw a guy riding today. I saw a young lady on like a Vespa scooter, and she's riding down the road. And then I saw a guy on an e-bike, and he was flying down the road right behind her in traffic. And, he might have been pedaling, Len, but I had the impression he had an ungoverned e-bike.
You can do that. We don't
But you know a guy who would, don't you?
You know, come on. All Italians know a guy who would, Crudy.
I'm sure.
Folks are listening to the Devil's Advocates radio show. Crazy Lenny from Crazy Lenny's e-bikes hanging out with us on a Friday afternoon. Lenny, got to ask you.
Yeah.
I'm turning 50 this year, dude. So now I'm starting to think of the terms of like a step through bike or
he's wondering if you have senior discounts
or a trike. You know, do you have those kinds of like models, or is everything kind of a step over? And how important is it to do you measure for a frame size? I'm kind of a short guy, and now I'm getting older, Lenny.
Yeah, you do.
A good bike for me.
You do. If the best way to determine the right frame size is to straddle the bike, get a nice comfort frame where you don't have to throw your leg over the seat. You stop, just stand straddling the bike, and then start the pedal. And if you can pedal where your lowest part, when the pedal is down low, has just a tiniest little bend in the knee, then that fits you perfectly. Most of that can be compensated for by seat height, but there are other bikes. There are some frames that are bigger than others.
Yeah. Now, what about the? I'm sorry. Go ahead, Brian.
Oh, I was going to say, speaking of bigger things, I'm a bigger thing. I'm pushing like 350. Yeah, we have bikes for you. And you have bikes for me. Yeah, we have bikes that take a rider up to 370 pounds. That is glorious. Yeah. Magnum Ranger, beautiful bike. Beautiful.
Magnum.
Is that one of those big fatty wheel bikes? Because I feel like Brian would need the fatty wheels.
No, he wouldn't. But the bike that I'm thinking of, the Magnum Ranger, does have a wheel that's thicker than you'd expect to see, but it's not a big knobby fat tire wheel. It's a very, very comfortable wheel. That's not the first time I've been recommended a Magnum. Listen, you know what? We have on display in our stock.
It just sank in, didn't it, Lenny? Have you seen his hands?
Buy two and we'll give you a Magnum. We still have 150 battery assisted as e-bikes and display in our store. No one has that many electric bikes to choose from. And yes, we have bikes that'll take safely riders up to 370 pounds.
Wow.
Electric bikes for someone that may only be 5 feet or 5'2".
That's like Dom's size.
Oh no.
Hey, Lenny, it's the festival season, and there's lots of outdoor vendors, people setting up their tents and selling their wares, whatever it may be. And I see some of these kind of converted bikes with like a platform kind of thing people ride around that can help them, carry their things around. Do you have those kinds of offerings as well?
Yeah, we have cargo style bikes. The cargo style bikes can be fitted in two ways. They can be fitted to carry cargo. A company may buy a couple of e-bikes to deliver pizzas locally. They may buy e-bikes to deliver liquor from a liquor store or groceries. But then you can also configure the cargo bike to carry as many as 2 children right with you on the bike, as opposed to having the kids following you in a trailer where you don't know if they're fighting or seeing the squirrel run up the tree or the raccoon.
So on the cargo bikes, Lenny, these are, you can actually see it. That's in front of you. The cargo area.
Well, there are for carrying the children. No, they would be in back of the rider, but they're right there. You can.
Dom, you would be in the
talk to them.
You would be in the basket like E.T.
Phone home.
Phone home.
Lenny, I've already got an e-bike, so this conversation's beginning to bore me a little. Let me ask you about something. I was seeking your advice, and I'd like your advice about something.
I'd like you to take it.
What? Well, I'd like to hear it before I decide whether or not I'm going to take it.
Yeah.
But Len, you've been a media figure. You've been on television umpteen times.
Yes.
Did you wear makeup when you did your media appearances?
Nope. I never have been made up for a TV appearance, whether it be a commercial or an interview. No.
Was that before HD TV, Len? Because, the cameras have gotten better. They're a little crisper these days.
I look equally bad with the makeup or without the makeup. So I don't think we should waste our money with the makeup artist. I don't know, but no, I'm not worn makeup. Anyway.
I know you're not overly political, although you are strongly opinionated. But I'm going on Foxy News.
Yeah.
Do you take any issue with the fact that I would go on the enemy's propaganda station?
I'd only take issue if you didn't make sense out of the correct or differing opinions or political notions on a topic.
Well, and the
what's
words...
bothering me is it's getting more and more difficult, at least for Len, to carry on a conversation with someone who feels that they're differing on some new bill or some new news than I am. It's like, you can't be right. This can only go this way. But it's more fun to debate an issue, but keep it pleasant. Have fun with it.
Right up until
like an e-bike.
Time to not be pleasant.
Oh,
Lenny, do you get out with someone that disagrees? I know we had a bit of a argumentative disagreement earlier today in
I
your
didn't think
shop.
we were arguing at all.
Well, no, we were discussing, debating the topics of the day.
Yeah, I did. I felt strongly that while I don't have a problem necessarily, only to the extent we could do better with the child care allowances that the administration is going to be providing this year for people with children. And
I don't know if we could reconstruct the whole basis of that conversation.
My point was simply, I would like the benefits to go really to the good of it. I don't want some percentage of those tax deductions or those checks to be going to somebody that takes the money and goes and buys an extra 6-pack of beer or two. I would like the money to go to the benefit of the child. We have to spend a little more time, I think, in deciding how the recipient gets our hard-earned tax money.
Well, Lenny, the best sort of guest, they bring a 6-pack for the panelists and we don't share with the children.
Well, we won't know that. We'll be, maybe I could just decide.
Lenny, here in the state of Wisconsin, I look back fondly on the days of yore, and a lot of my most enjoyable times talking politics have been with a beer in my hand by a campfire.
Mm-hmm.
Don't you think we could get back to those days?
Yes,
where we went camping.
Of course we can, and that's a great way to do it. You're sitting by the campfire, so it's a pleasurable environment. You have a can of beer, which is perfectly a wonderful thing to enjoy, and discuss how could this have been done better, or what isn't being done that the community needs.
Len, Fox News, I'm going on Sunday. I'm going to be way hungover.
Bring your armor.
Well, they're sending a car, but, perhaps an e-bike, Len. That could be an enjoyable ride.
Well,
might pep me up before I went on the Foxy News.
If you need an e-bike, I'm just the guy. I could have one to have you ride it in.
Stores open Sundays? Yes. 7 days a week.
7 days a week.
You are a taskmaster, Lynn Mattioli.
Yes, I am. Because the days of the year we're closed. We're closed Christmas Day, Easter Sunday, and Father's Day, and Thanksgiving Day. That's it.
Well, that's because when you have so much fun riding an e-bike, it should be a 7-day-a-week experience. Crazy. Lenny, Ebike Mattioli. Buddy, see you at the party at the Jade Monkey on Tuesday.
I'll be there. Yes.
Nice.
Jade Monkey.
If he's not there, we know where he works.
Hey, Dominic, when am I going to see you on that new e-bike? You need one. There's so much
I do
fun.
need one. It's my birthday coming up. I got to talk to my wife.
Riding an e-bike for the first time is like the first time your dad brought you home a new Schwinn.
Dance off, bro. Me and you.
Okay, I got to go. I'm in the middle of a big bike race.
This is Pat Slattery of Slattery's Automotive Service in Verona. Established in 1973, I've been servicing and repairing cars in the Madison community for nearly 50 years. You can trust me to tell you what your car really needs and fix it right the first time. Give me a call at 608-848-6123 to schedule an appointment today. Slattery's Automotive Service, your trusted choice for local service and repairs for all your automotive needs.
This is Dom from the Devil's Advocates, inviting all our patrons to join us for an exclusive live broadcast at one of Hawk's finer neighborhood bars, the Jade Monkey Cocktail Lounge, located at 217 Cottage Grove Road in Madison on Tuesday, June 15th. Seating is limited, so please go to patreon.com, search for the Devil's Advocates, the greatest radio show ever, and sign up to be a patron. Join us June 15th, 2 to 5 p.m. at the Jade Monkey in Madison for a live broadcast, then stick around for the political party open to the public 5 to 7 p.m. See you then. Hey, Darcy, I just saw the perfect house and I want you to help me write an offer on it.
I'd be happy to, Dom. Were you at the open house?
No, I just called the sign and had the agent show it to me. I don't want to bug you.
Oh, Dom, how many times have you heard me say don't call the sign?
But
you called the agent working for the seller, and once you see the property with that agent, I'm no longer free to write an offer on it.
So
you need to hire us from the beginning, help you find the right home, negotiate on your behalf, and protect your interests all the way through the process. And it shouldn't cost you a dime.
Solidarity Realty. They're real, they're solid, and they're honest. Find them at solidarityrealty.com. Milwaukee is a great city with a great history and great architecture. You can take in Milwaukee's history and architecture while you partake in the delicious Wisconsin craft beer at Regano's Roman Coin. The Roman Coin features weekly drink specials, trivia on Wednesdays, pinball, a pool table, a jukebox, and a great selection of craft beers. The Roman Coin is also pet-friendly to appeal to the canine crowd, and you can order it from several nearby restaurants. Regano's Roman Coin, 1004 East Brady Street on Milwaukee's east side.
From Portage to Watertown, Devil Radio on WTTN 1580 AM is essential radio to get you through your day.
The Devil's Advocates, making radio great again.
And we are back. Thank you for listening to the Devil's Advocates radio show, last segment of the day. If you got something to say, if you want to wish Crudy a happy birthday, give us a call right now at 844-967-2789.
And if you fail to call, I'm just going to assume that means you wish me a happy birthday, but your boss looking over your shoulder right till 5. What a jerk that guy is.
Hey, you can text 844-967-2789. I can't
Not
follow
you,
you to the
George.
bathroom.
No texting, George. I'm done with you, George.
Except you, George.
So Dominic, want to thank our most recent guest, a friend of ours, a big fine sponsor around here, Crazy Lenny's e-bikes. They are a hell of a lot of fun. And if you're going to make a big ticket purchase, and when you go in there, there's lots of affordable e-bikes, but they run the gamut of prices and sizes and ranges. You should have some fun, man. If I'm going to spend some money, I better be having some fun. I'm just saying.
Yeah, no doubt. And Lenny's a cool cat, and the crew over there, they'll take good care of it, and you will have fun. You can ride as many as you want. Check them out. Make sure you get the right one. Yeah, there's nothing like it. If you haven't done it, go do it. You don't have to buy one. Just try one.
Just try one. You'll have fun. It'll be a fun experience. Dom, getting ready for the big party at the camper this weekend. Apparently, we're having a camper party. You've got a rivaling party that most of my friends will probably be at. So I'll have a small turnout at the camper party. But I've been trying to get the deck ready up there. Did I tell you my wife and the guy who installed the deck, they didn't consult with the people over 5'4" tall. And apparently they thought the awning, the metal rod should be like 5 feet across the staircase. And I have split my scalp twice to the point where I just made a project out of it. I'm just like, I'm moving those freaking stairs. And finally I got the job done last night. I was, literally my whole shirt covered in sweat. Not used to working that hard.
I believe it.
Ran out of daylight. It was 9:30 last night. So anyways, I'm in a hurry. I'm going home. Haven't even eaten dinner yet. And I pull out of this campsite in Lodi, and I see one car coming down the road. I'm like, I'm going to beat that SOB. So I hammer it, right? I get on the accelerator. I'm up to damn near 70 miles per hour. Just
trying to get in front of the other car coming out of the same area. Okay.
Well, they're coming from my left, and I'm making a right turn in front.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Yep.
But rather than allowing them to pass and getting behind them,
and then passing them later,
for all I know, they're going to follow the posted speed limits, Tom. And
people still do that?
I've got no patience for that at 9:30, covered with sweat and hungry, getting a little hangry.
Oh, don't be hangry.
So anyways,
don't drive angry. Don't drive angry.
And the cherries came on behind me, the reds and the blues. You
pull out in front of a cop car?
I did. I absolutely did. So I pulled out in front of the cop car, and above and beyond that, Dom, after working and exerting myself and being all sweaty and whatever, I was gonna, chill, relax a little bit on the drive back, if you know what I'm saying. And as the cop pointed out, it might be an inopportune time to smoke one behind the wheel of the car. So I didn't do that. Thankfully, I had not indulged in that sort of adultish behavior. So I was completely clean and sober, relatively speaking. And he pulled up beside me, and I realized.
Wait, beside you or behind you?
Well, he pulled up behind and then walked up beside.
Yep.
And as I was, accommodating, putting things back in the center console, if you will, Dom, because he damn near caught me. But I realized I also had my wallet in there. I better pull that out quick because, don't want to embarrass myself, exposing myself in some way. And so it was the sheriff. And anyways, he's, he
Is that still Dane County?
No, it was out of county, Columbia County.
Columbia County, okay.
And the sheriff deputy asked me, do you know why I pulled you over? You blew through the stop sign. And I'm thinking, if you say so, I know that I at least come to a pause. You know how you're driving up to a stop sign, a
rolling stop.
Well, that's what he accused me of.
Wait, did you know where you stop? When you stop and your head goes back after the car stops. That's a stop. Anything short of your head falling back after the car stops and you go again, yeah, you didn't stop.
Well, I have a large head, Dom. So, just momentum kind of carried my head back to the left. So I was under the impression I had stopped.
Yeah.
But the cop less so. So anyways, now I'm in trouble, right? Because not only did I roll through the stop sign, I had accelerated to something approaching 70 miles per hour in a 55
to get in front of whoever the hell that loser was.
Yeah,
loser.
Really more of a courtesy move as far as I was concerned.
Oh, yeah.
Well, if that guy was coming up with a head of speed, I want to make sure I was out of his way. Didn't want to pull out in front of a guy and then go 55, right? Because what kind of a jerk does that?
One is going to get passed by me.
So anyways, the guy asked me and I said, I guess I was distracted. Perhaps I didn't come to a full and complete stop. I just acknowledged, the moving violation. I didn't want to get pulled out of the car and searched. So of course I'm like, you got me, sir.
So you pled guilty to the lesser crime.
Well, if you're implying there was another crime I could have been caught for, yes, I pled guilty to the perceived moving violation.
The alleged.
And so anyways, he went back and he called in my car. And I'm doing the math in my head and I'm thinking, you know what? My license plates literally expired either last night or today. And a smarter, shrewder, more prudent man would have already renewed the plates. I think it's in my office somewhere. I'll get around to it. I still got time. Is it 5 yet? So I also had this sort of thing kicking around in the back of my mind that, technically my plates might be expired. I don't even know. Thought I got those plates around my birthday, but day or two, you can go to the car dealer. Might have got them a day or two early. So anyways, expired plates, what in the center console, sweating, a little hangry. And, side of the
speeding and a rolling stop.
Probably 10, 12, 15 over. And the guy said, because you told me the truth, I'm giving you a $10 ticket for not having an updated insurance card in your wallet.
Oh, you didn't have that either?
No. I mean, I had the old one. It seems you like a new one every month. Who's got the time to change out the insurance card? Dom, in the future, I'm always going to have an expired insurance card because then I can plead to the lesser crime. I'd like to think I got away with it, Dom. Again.
Uh-huh.
Thank you to that Columbia County Sheriff's deputy for not giving me the big ticket or searching the car. Have a wonderful weekend, everyone. I'll be out at the big party at Funk's Pub with Kirk Bankstead tomorrow. Listen for us on the radio. Tuesday at the Jade Monkey. You're going to want to be there. Thank you to our fine guests, James Santelle, Bill Press, and crazy Liddy Mattioli. Have a great weekend. Party.
I got a lot of problems with you people. Now you're going to hear about it.
Hey, everybody, we're all going to get laid.
Devil's Triangle.
The Devils!
Jimmy, everyone finally went home.